All right, folks, we back. Apologies for the abrupt end to the last stream. I thought I was just totally out of hotspot data. The Verizon just is basically unusable here where I'm physically located, but I do have my work phone, which is Mint Mobile, aka T-Mobile, and I just happened to. I was curious. I was just wondering, like, I wonder how much data I've used. I ran through my 5 gig hotspot, and then when I was in the app, it said, "Hey, would you like to give us $20 for 10 gig of hotspot?" It's diabolical, man. I said, hell yeah. So we paid them. Let's do the internet speed test here. I guess I could actually do it on the laptop. But that's the Mint Mobile here in general vicinity of Houston. I don't know exactly what little town I'm in. So when JG said my connection was fucked up, that's because I was running off that Verizon. We ain't gonna have that problem. We ain't gonna have them problems with this one. Yes, sir. We back. We back. Welcome back. Apologies for the abrupt end to the last stream. I've been burned through my hotspot data, and the Verizon effectively doesn't work here where I'm located, and I was far too lazy to relocate. And there's crazy. I'm in just north of construction zones in both directions. Actually, yeah. So I figured I would just stay put. I'm rolling out tonight, so. But yeah, Mint Mobile. I went in the app just to check my usage. It said, "Hey, would you like to give us $20 from your credit card or your debit card for a 10 gig of hotspot?" Why, yes, I would. We back. And this thing is not even really that good of a deal if you think about it. This thing I pay $50. That's with the auto pay, so $55 if I don't do the auto pay. 50 gig, T-Mobile 4G, but I mean I guess that's the same price, right? $10 for 20 gig. No, $20 for 10 gig. Yeah, it'd be better to just have two of these. I can have two of these, man. I don't know. I think I'll just get every prepaid service. I got like a total of 5 phones in here. Maybe I'll just get every prepaid service. Yeah, I think it was your connection, JG, actually, because I did an internet speed test and it was fine. But actually, you helped me out because if you hadn't have said that, I would not have discovered that Mint Mobile is happy to take $20 off my debit card to give me $10 a hotspot, or 10 gig of hotspot rather, and that'll get me through the rest of the day since I'm going to sleep around. I'll probably let's see what time is it. I'd say I'll be around till about 5 p.m. Central. Where? Oh, I don't know. I doubt it. Trolls are usually male, but who knows, man? It's the internet. And this femboy, that's a thing now. You know, a lot of them's going femboy. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that about Thought Respector. I'm just putting out the. Please take it easy on me. I'm putting out the possibilities. Yeah, haha, indeed. Yeah. I wish we had like 12 people in here. I wish I had known that I could get that hotspot data. I would have just kept the last stream running. Oh, this ain't it. How is everybody? Damn. Oh well, we'll get there. I think I'll probably just play some streams.
Okay, so I run your
What
interface,
you want,
and
Paul?
all I'd ever have to do is say the opposite. You do the
Paul,
opposite,
you're
so
done,
I already
man.
run
You're
your
Time required to sit through the streams, consume the streams, produce the streams, interact with the streams. Like EBT2, he's in these.
Oh, this isn't even the right one.
Yeah, no shit. Life's full.
Little bitch. You're a little bitch.
I would talk to people just long form, and it was just work in this idea of a. Okay, this is not even the right stream. Oh, it's this one. No. It's got to be that one.
Yeah,
rock music with your
yeah, because you know nothing about
fingers up on the internet and yelling.
But yeah,
Earlier you didn't put me on. You put me on the. Like, honestly, you are. But
you
it's like,
reach down between your legs and you can grab your nuts.
yeah, I got a big cock. I'm a
always
fucking.
Whoa, we don't want to know how big your cock is, sir.
Well, and you know, it is a broadcast, so.
And then Paul and Slave.
Okay.
Last name is public record. Do the research. It's all out.
No, you told us right here. Come on, Cartman. Tell us your last name. Come on.
We can't even see your face, let alone know your name, punk ass coward.
He's been on camera.
Oh, I'm a punk.
Don't be
You
a
won't
bitch.
tell us your
Yeah,
last
it's a
name.
wrap
You're
on
the punk.
direct.
Come on.
Right. Do you live? What's your last name?
I'm speaking to you. I don't gotta put my
Come
fucking
on,
face up.
what's up?
You try to pad
I
what
put
you are. That's
Saggot.
something.
Sure, I can.
Direct went
Right.
Look at you,
straight
dude.
psychotic.
You think this is your job?
And you are,
I am me, motherfucker. That's who I am.
and it's always going to be better being me than you.
If you think so, that's
I
great
know
for
so.
you.
I know
Good for
so.
you. Good for you. I'm
Isn't
not
it?
the one
You're
on
not
really
online
bad
saying
for
it's
you.
my job.
Really
You're not
bad
going
for
to
you.
steal and fucking punch
Really
you
bad for
every day.
you.
Yeah. What's? Oh, okay. It's really
Great
bad
for me, bad
Uh-huh.
for you.
Okay.
That's how life
good.
goes
Sounds good.
nowadays, right? That's
Yeah,
how life
sure.
goes nowadays.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Right.
Sure. It's
You don't even have a response because you're a
I
pathetic
don't.
slave.
A response for what?
Yapping your lip with nothing to say and no substance. Yapping
Fucking
your lip.
response for what? For what?
Hey,
This
call
is
me a
what you
homosexual
guys
again. Hey, calm. There you go. That's the extent of your life purpose. Take another hit there. Take another hit, stick your middle finger out, fuck the system, and listen to your punk rock music with your
Yeah, because you
yellow
know
skin.
nothing about me.
With your
Ben's
yellow
creaming
gray
his
skin.
pants right now.
Great job, sir. You're close to death. You're demonic and you're completely sober.
Actually, you are very correct about that. So,
I know I am. I
Yeah.
can see it all over you.
oh, okay. We're all close to it, brother.
More than
what's
you
up,
know,
bitch boy?
sir.
What's
More
your
than
last
you
name?
know.
You really
What's
think
your
you can
last
see what
name,
I
bro?
More than you know, sir. Pride going before the fall. More than you know. You pride
you-
and scum. You
so-
pride
so
for
what
no
is- what is-
reason. You've done nothing in your life.
Oh, okay. You
Pride
think
goes
so?
before the fall. See it on your gray skin, yellow skin. I
Yeah.
see look. I see
To hear yourself. I'm not instigating. What have you done in your life? You're yelling out of my fucking stick.
So, bro, it's hey, you got a mission though, dude. You're a machine and a half. Not that I don't watch every day. I can't deal with the.
Well, the truth is inspiring, sir. It's not about me.
Yeah, no, I concur. But whatever, you're a tool of it. So so I don't know, man. Man? It's I'm singled out here, Benton and Paul and Slave.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's part of the reason why I like to enter the asylum is because the demons are all going to take up against me and rebuke me until they all want to go to talk to me and get more truth that they never heard before. So I quite like that. I feed off their hate and energy, and then I alchemize it into more truth and light for everyone else out there. So I'm not put off by them. I welcome it. They could only teach me something. Oftentimes, I just have to speak the word of truth, and they go to showing who and what they are and convicting themselves in their words every time. Just
So
the
you feel
court
like
does.
you're running that bracket of system, right? So it's
Yeah, there's a process here that I
philosophy.
run fairly regularly and has the same results every time. And then one way or the other, these folks are going to love me or love to hate me because it's not about me. It's about the truth. Either they want truth or they want to write their own truth and overwrite the truth and rebuke it.
burn it through. We burn it through, right? And then
Sure.
eventually, whatever, it spreads, and then it processes.
Bro, they don't understand. They think that they're like competing with me. I'm telling them, you're powerless because I went up against the whole Shaitan and its whole army. I had to stand with whole people around me, whole agencies that they would shiver and shake, right? They say, what have I done? I don't have to tell you because I know who and what I am and what I'm not. When I say what you do, they go to pointing at tools and bullshit. Right?
So I think when you got here, I think right now, Sorry, not to interrupt. I don't want to. Well,
No, it happens all the time, man. I'm spitting good game that's changing lives out there, and folks who got little to nothing to say always want to interrupt me. I'm used to it on my panel. Go ahead, sir.
I don't know. I guess. Well, I wouldn't say I got nothing to say. I got something bigger to say. So it's like, in a pragmatic process type of way, you know, you're running that. You're running those gauntlets, right? In a bracketed type system. Whatever. Look at it as in a bracketed type. So, I think I'm pretty sure Fenton would agree.
Oh, what am I agreeing to?
You got a voice, bro. You got a voice and a half. You definitely got a fucking voice.
And you
There's
just
no
cut
doubt
off
about
that
it. I don't
voice.
think
And you
anyone,
just cut off
anyone,
that voice. And you just cut off that voice and that too to tell me about how I have a voice. Thank you for telling me what I already know.
No,
about me.
you're right. I did. But it's like I'm looking at it more of a. I don't know if that's trying to trigger me. I know you
Well,
think
what it
better
does is
than
it
that.
creates a whole bunch of spaces out there where all the demon trolls can say we're doing cult of personality and worshiping me now, and we're not here for that.
Well, cults. I think cults probably need to exist, right? I mean, in a higher order. I don't know. I'm not spitting from there, but
Hey, do you usually have this
probably
guy
they
here or
do.
what?
You are stupid. I don't know. People got to learn.
Soul Reed, he actually summoned Yurt. Yurt had been MIA, and I
Did he?
know,
Sure
I know
did.
you're well acquainted. You're acquainted. I shouldn't say well acquainted. I know you've been acquainted with Yurt. So I've got a soft spot for Mr. Soul Reed Analytics on that basis. But I do want to say, if anybody wants to see me piece up one, I guess Drew was right. He said I think this was Paul trying to give me a hint to boot old Soul Reed, but so I think it's only the second time I got to talk to Soul Reed, so I was looking forward to it. Ben Thorpe over at Enslaved by Truth channel, I pieced up a 110 Thorpe last night. I just don't like to come on here and piece people up. It's not what I'm into, but I can do that if I need to.
We got too much fire here. So we can look at it astrologically. Paul, what are you? Paul, you're what's your sign? Not that
Sure,
I'm
you're doing it again. You got
trying to date him?
Exactly. You're now asking what my astrological sign is. You want to buy me a drink first or what?
No. It's not about a date. I'm just curious because I'm really not
Sure,
that
I'm a
unknown.
Taurus, if you couldn't guess. I like long walks on the beach as well, and I tend to enjoy cannabis.
All right, cool. You're trying, dude. I don't have the fire anymore. Normally,
I know.
back
That's
in
what
the
I'm
day,
trying to
I got-
tell you, man. That's
problem
why I
with
take
your
the back
generation.
seat.
No,
Hey,
I'm just.
take
I
the
don't have the
back seat.
fire
It's
for the
that-
trigger.
It's
It's
that
just like I've
lukewarm,
been through
man.
too much. What's
Yeah,
that?
there you go. It's that trauma. It's that lukewarm spirit.
No, it's not, but it's like real. I mean, it's
Even
real.
what you just did right there is lukewarm. It's lukewarm.
You're right. I'm not even
No,
gonna
I
deny it.
usually am, sir. It's what I do. You should check me out.
I know. The pompousness, though. Come on, man. You don't
That's
run
not
this all
pompous. That's
day.
confidence. You see, the spirit of your mama rebuke your daddy when he's confident and tell him he's arrogant and pompous. That's why he got no self-esteem.
No, I got self-esteem, but I just like, it's just like, I don't know. The vitriol. I just feel like the vitriol.
It's not
leads
vitriol,
more.
sir. If it is vitriol, it's because you need it as such. I don't mean it as that. You might be taking it as that because you might need to break down something to rebuild something. That's what vitriol is.
No, you're probably right. You're right. I'm not gonna
I
argue.
usually
But,
am, sir. It's what I do. You should check me out.
dude, I checked you out. I mean, like, come on. I'm paying you lots of heat here, bro. I mean, like,
I will say this about Thought Respector's comment here. It's beyond me how anyone would unironically watch Slave Paul. I'll say this, man. When I tune in, if it's entertaining and compelling, then I watch for however long it holds my attention. And then sometimes I tune in and it's nothing compelling that would hold my interest. So I just move on to something else. And the shows run so long, man. And like, there's no reason for me. I'm sure there's people that watch like however many hours, just like maybe over here as well. But that's how I view Paul's streams. I tuned in a few minutes ago. Back when we had like 14 over here, but I don't know. I'm getting to where I really don't even care about legitimately about the numbers. And does that even really mean anything, in the long run? Yeah, Soul Reed, this was my fault. I should have booted this guy out of here, really. But, I liked his comments. And when somebody has good live chat comments, that goes a long way with me. And you can tell that there's something going on with his thought process, but he's just not able to really convey it. And then some of these younger guys, man, and I'm not a big fan of this spirit of your mama type of, talk, but it's anathema to me. Like, it's a fucking pussy, man. Like, and I understand that I'm not a boomer, I'm technically Gen X, but I'm going to be viewed as like a boomer. But then, like, really what I'm seeing is, it's not, the males don't have daddy issues. They've got mommy issues. And I was talking to my dad about this earlier today. I wish I had recorded that. I had a 3-hour convo with Pops. Yeah, he is starstruck. And Glenn, good to see you, Glenn, by the way. Yeah, I was a little bit myself just because I'm a fan of some of Paul's work. Just like, you know, I was a little starstruck when I first started talking to Drew, but it's a minor effect. This guy is like mesmerized by fame or something, which that's got to be generational too. You know, it's like at my age, you know, if this was somebody I'd seen from TV or some sports figure, I don't know. Even then, I don't feel like I'd really be starstruck. In fact, shout out to JG. I met Tony Hawk in Fayetteville, Arkansas at a demo in like '91, and it's hot as fuck, man. It was in the summer, and there was like only one little room, like this back office room, you know, in like this warehouse that was air conditioned. So at one point, Tony Hawk and some other skaters, you know, we just ended up sitting in there like, you know, taking a breather, cooling down. And I talked to Tony for like 20 minutes, just like had a conversation with him. Cool dude, by the way, real down to earth. You know, he was buying boards from a guy named Page in Little Rock, Arkansas, who had this kind of bullshit skateboard factory when Tony Hawk had just started Birdhouse, long time ago. But yeah, this was my bad, and Paul is he's polite and considerate in that I could tell in retrospect he was hinting around like, hey, you might want to think about getting rid of this guy.
I'm not trying to put it on you. I'm just saying you're a fucking. You got a voice, dude. You got a real voice.
Well, you do as well, sir. You do as well. It's not about me. You have a voice as well, believe it or not. You're not okay. Women and children should have a voice as well, but you're not defenseless. You can speak for yourself.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
as well. You have power and influence.
Okay. I know. I get all the philosophical bullshit, but it's got to be not. It's
no. That's philosophical bullshit.
And when he says I get all the philosophical bullshit, see, this is the same stuff I'm running into with not even tinfoil, but this that Tartarian Truth guy. It's like they're almost, well, and 10 does it too. It's like they're too cool for school. It's like, yeah, I get all the philosophical blah blah blah. Well, you're not above the philosophical. You're above philosophy? I mean, seriously, what is this? Or master it, like, right? Master the philosophy. And tinfoil whining and crying about psychology. Okay, master the psychology. Like learn the rules and then break all the rules, right? You know, I can't get with the too cool for school, like we're above it all. Like, not really, man. I mean, not in this arena anyway. I mean, it's like it is kind of like abroad, you know, who's like starstruck by some famous guy, you know. I mean, what is this? Yeah, Glenn's right. He is starstruck. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, and I will admit to a little bit of, I'm like, hey, man, this is cool, you know, a little bit of that. But, I mean, come on, man. It can only go so far. And I'm damn sure would never embarrass myself like Soul Read Analytics did. And by the way, he's welcome anytime. Hopefully he maybe is not quite as drunk. Yeah, see that exactly. But it's not. See, it's all a joke, but it's not all a joke.
Okay, I live by information. That's the spirit of your Bob, I get. You want to tell a man how to be a man? That ain't philosophical bullshit. Asking me what my sign is feminine philosophical bullshit.
Yep.
That was a genuine.
Telling me about principles, goals, and values, and how we live, and me living my information. That's you know, essential for a man.
I agree. Maybe I'm just trying to say you're meant for more, man. That's it. Maybe I'm trying to tell myself I'm meant for more. I don't know. What the fuck am I saying?
Yes. Maybe I would like to be able to come on here and hear from Soul Read Analytics, and you're depriving me of that.
It's true. Yeah, but maybe not.
No, for real. Dude, listen to me coming on here doing live streams.
Listen, bro, we got all sorts of intelligent people. Here's the deal. We got all sorts of, listen, anyone who's at this level of fucking internet and YouTube, whatever, you're clearly intelligent about some things. You're woken up about some shit, right? So what are we doing? By spitting vitriol and fighting and arguing over shit, it's like, you know, I'm a systematic.
Oh, you have a point there. But I think it's that, and it's also other things. So, apologies for eating. Hang on. You're right, but I believe it's that and more. But you're right when you say that, Thought Respecter. But I believe it's that as well as other things. Like, I believe there's other moments in some of my live streams I can point to, like, hey, that was a real human interaction. Like, that's some real shit there. You know, but ultimately, yeah, it's cool to talk to Paul for a couple of minutes, but it's not going to amount to a hill of beans.
What, dude? Listen, Soul Read Analytics. You want to know what that is, Ben? It's some bullshit poker. I'm a poker player for like since 01.
Me too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. That's why I say it. So
Please continue.
way back. So soul read is like a soul read. You put a soul read on someone, you make some ridiculous call or blah, whatever. You make a soul read. You've heard it. I'm sure it's said around fucking poker. All right. Soul Read Analytics, some Tony Robbins bullshit system. The fact that the enlightened mind is the male mind, the left brain and the right brain crossed over is essentially soul read. Yeah. So an analytic is soul read.
Yeah, but here's the thing is, what he's trying to speak on here means nothing if he hasn't actually learned how to do what he's talking about. And I see no evidence that he's, yeah, exactly. He wants to be validated, which, by the way, he's talking to me. I'm trying to give him space, like, hey, man, fucking spit something, you know, and then I will happily validate it. Now, the way I will validate it is I will take what he spits on and I will probably spin it back, you know, and take something and add to it and put it back out there. And then Paul might pick it up and add his spin to it. And then, like, that's what I like to do, among other things. But, you know, and this is, I think, where we get in. I won't even call it feminine energy. I call it mommy issues. You know, most likely this dude didn't have a strong father that, you know, was able to provide some kind of leadership for this guy. And like I said, I talked to my dad for 3 fucking hours today, man. And that's what I told him is I said, you know, this conversation we're having, you know, I said, you know, I'm a fucking hermit. I'm not necessarily available. I said, you have to have conversations with actual men. And I said, I know we have, you know, I'm your son and blah, 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 but it's still one man talking to another man. Soul Read Analytics is not a man at the level of having a status, right? He just has never risen to that level. And these mommy issues, man, these mommies, no offense to the ladies, a woman can't turn a boy into a man. They don't know nothing about it. And then the mommy issues, what I'm seeing in these guys with the mommy issues is, it's like they're first and foremost seeking to interface and placate and assuage the emotions of the other person. It's like, no, the other person's emotions are their problem. Why are you trying to? Because that's the mommy. See, a male with mommy issues, it's mommy has some kind of an emotion, and then you get into this sick, weird relation. And by the way, I don't know anything about this. I figured this out from observing it. You get in this sick thing where now the boy is actually interacting with mom based on kind of placating and assuaging her feelings, man. It's sick. And I never had that relationship with my mom. I ain't got mommy issues. Same thing with my dad. And I told him that. I said, yeah, we ain't got mommy issues. This is just straight up mommy issues, man.
That's just analytics, I guess, man. It's turned into that. It's not like I'm some shtick. I'm no shtick.
Hey, this may be great for your audience, but I'm restreaming this and everyone's tuning out. I don't know. Maybe there's something.
And I was just about to say, you had us there. You had us right where you wanted us, and then you went off into some la land tangent, which I also, by the way, have the propensity to do, and I work every day to minimize that and stay on point. Now, when I'm driving my truck, showing the road, I can ramble and more or less just do what I want to do. But when there's 35 in the live chat, and you want to call out Paul on this confidence, but he's getting 150 all day, every day, he probably knows what he's doing. He's probably thinking about what he's doing.
And that's the thing, right? They always focus on the vitriol, never the results. Maybe if they stop focusing on their feelings and more on the results, they could worry less about how they feel and more about.
But he's got mommy issues, and he's trained to always go to the feelings first. There's nothing wrong with the feelings, but everything has to, with these guys with these mommy issues, every damn bit of it has to be filtered through first. We gotta come through, you know, almost like an emotional upheaval, right? No. And see, these young males have been done a great disservice. You know, this shit ain't right, man. And I'll just go ahead and say it. And I told my dad this because, see, what happened with my dad was he finally broke up with his third wife. His second wife passed away. And this woman, dude, she did a number on my dad, and she isolated him from any sort of male fucking interactions. And dude, she had him turned into a bitch. I'm not even gonna lie. So then I was real sick, and my dad, I could tell what he was doing. He was kind of using me as like an excuse to get out of his situation with her. Like, oh, my son's, sick. I got to help him, blah, blah, blah. But we really didn't help me. We helped each other, like to both, achieve our goals. We teamed up to achieve our goals. But man, several times I called him and I just had to say, man, you're acting like a bitch right now, man. Like you're literally acting like a bitch. I said, man, that's some bitch shit. That's me telling my dad that. Meanwhile, this is the guy who taught me and forced me to be a man. See, so I can't let that motherfucker get away with it. But see, nobody ever did this to this guy. So read analytics. They're a young male will not become a man. They have to more or less be forced into it. And a woman ain't never going to force them into it. Why? Because a woman wants the male. Even though it's not what's good for society, it's definitely not what's good for her son. You see, she wants that. Because why? Because other than her children, which, by the way, this is her child, right? His mom. Nothing will ever be more important to her than her feelings. And you can see this guy, he's raised with that idea. But when I was raised up, my dad and the culture wasn't having that. That was neither here nor there for me. Yeah, mom might be feeling some type of way. That really didn't have nothing to do with me, see.
Results. But that would
It's
require you
sick.
to be a man and not act like a woman. Not a woman, sorry, little girl, because women don't do that. Once
Amen.
a woman is led
Amen.
by a man out of their toxic emotional cycling, doesn't mean invalidate their emotions when it's appropriate. It means you don't enable weakness. Women tend to be more emotional. Men, if they're working correctly, tend to be more logical. I didn't say we couldn't meet in the middle, but it better be appropriate. So we've been giving women what they want for too long, and that's why we've enabled their weakness. Happy wife, happy life. Doesn't work. It's disempowering and disrespectful and dishonoring of the manhood and masculinity. See, the problem isn't that we have toxic masculinity. We have a lack of true masculinity. It causes toxic femininity to run the whole show. That's how you get code and policy. Everybody's feelers are running everybody else's rights and property.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with me.
Well, and it is a broadcast. So, and I know that Paul here has mentioned Howard Stern. I'm also a fan of. I do still watch some of the old Howard Stern material. I'm from Arkansas, so we didn't really get that down there, other than the E Show. But I also really liked sports radio back in the day. Jim Rome, have a take and don't suck. So when I'm on here and I know people are watching, some of the time I can't always maintain it over a time, but that's what I'm shooting for. I'm trying to keep it succinct and have a take and don't suck. And I feel like you can do that, Soul Read Analytics, but not until you work on it. You're not going to just show up.
I would do it. Listen, I ain't trying to do it. Well, I don't know what it's turned into. I can tell you.
And see, this is what I ran into, as badly as I represented myself over on Drew's, Panel-demic on Get Chalked Up. See, it's like they want to interface with these things, but then as soon as things kind of get a little serious or there's a little bit of discomfort, oh, well, I don't really want to take it serious. Well, okay, then fuck off and go somewhere else then. Like, why are you even here, man? Yeah, Soul Reed Talcott. Yeah, then fuck off, dude. And I guess it's my fault. I should have just kicked him off.
Story is fucking nuts.
And I'm going to get better at that. Some of these times I'm just going to have to disconnect some of these people.
But listen, I ain't taking trick nose. You got Paul enslaved on here, dude. And
no, I didn't.
Even the way you keep saying my name, it's like creepy. It's creepy.
All right, I guess
it's like you want to have sex with me. You know what I mean?
It is creepy.
Are you sure? Well, okay, so now you're turning me down.
All right,
so
but it's like, dude, are you a prophet?
Hold on a second. If I want to have sex with you, you're going to turn me down in front of everybody? That ain't right either.
Dude, if it was for the better good.
All right, so for the cause, you'll have sex with me. That's what I thought. See what I mean, sir? You're insanely creepy. You just did it again. I tricked you.
I guess you did, dude. Or I was just like, whatever. Like,
No, just like whatever doesn't work in court or here.
No, like whatever. Like, I don't like this is stupid.
I know, bisexual isn't gay. I got it. No eye contact. Right.
My whole point.
It's definitely gay, by the way.
All right. Everyone's got their own take.
No, I don't think it's debatable.
Well, I'm not on here trying to debate you. Well, I'm not at all, bro. What do you want me to say, dude? You got a body in motion stays in motion, dude. You got a movement. You got a deal going. You got whatever. I don't know how real it is. I don't know how real the internet is.
I'm just a fake ass motherfucker.
I don't think you're a fake ass motherfucker at all. You want to know why? Because I think you got the voice, dude. I think you got a voice. I think you got a real.
How did that happen, by the way?
Oh, he just got it.
I just got it. I was lucky. I woke up one day and it was like, bam, got it.
Good fortune.
Right. It was really lucky.
Yeah, I didn't spend hours and hours and hours saying hot coffee in a proper copper coffee pot repeatedly. or
I
that
love-
she
I love
sells
that-
seashells by
I
the
love
seashore.
Paul's,
didn't just do that for
reaction to
fucking hours.
that.
I didn't spend.
Watch this.
I just got it. I was lucky. I woke up one day and it was like, bam, got it.
Wow.
Good fortune.
Right. Just really lucky.
Yeah, I didn't spend hours and hours and hours saying hot coffee in a proper copper coffee pot repeatedly. Or, she sells seashells by the seashore. I didn't just do that for fucking hours on end. In my
Love
ridiculous
it.
slack-jawed yokel way of speaking.
That's all right. So you're speaking to your terms of public speaking. I get it. So
Bro, if I speak in my native tongue, y'all won't know what the fuck I'm saying.
yeah, speaking of tongues. Let's talk about the
Oh,
spirit.
my
Talk about the
See, I
Holy
didn't-
Spirit.
this is
bro.
also
Talk
my
about the
fault
day
for
you're
not-
pregnant.
Not realizing just how intoxicated he was. He's way more intoxicated than I realized. Are you talking about Paul? I think Paul is actually, this is my opinion, and I'm just going to say it, and I don't think this in any way, I don't take this in a negative light. What I see Paul doing a lot of the times is he's actually manipulating a lot of the, he's doing a lot of this not for him to feel like a big man, but actually to do in the context of doing the show, because it's all based on this idea that people see how horrible things are in the world and we're corporate slaves, but then people because they don't understand basic shit, and we all have this tribal, we're very tribal, at some core of our being, and I see it as a manipulation of these ideas that people are going to all come together, hold hands, sing kumbaya, and change the world, so-called be the change you want to see in the world and all this, which I just don't think is realistic. And what I see, in my opinion, Paul, he's manipulating and maneuvering through the context of doing a show that I believe he's earning money from. And I can't, in America, everything's a business. And if he's able to live from doing this, man, more power to him. I don't see somebody who necessarily needs to go out here and wield power over the weak. And I do see it, and he calls it pimping and macking. I think in some ways, I guess it's debatable, but some would say, that's like the natural order, the wolf fucking eats the sheep, right? Yeah, the grift. Yeah, the grift. Yeah. I would say the grift more than the ego, though. I think we talk way too much about ego. This is just my opinion. Again, I think that I don't think it's in the current context. I don't think it's really that helpful to talk about ego. I think what would be helpful is to explore humility. I think that would be much more useful. And now nobody has to be extreme like me, but I'll tell you how I explored humility is being downtown in some city and eating out of the garbage. And the first thing somebody might say is, well, that sounds gross. It's no. It's not the germs. And in fact, I never got sick eating out of the garbage. I knew the craziest motherfucker in Eugene, Oregon. That man literally ate everything he found in the trash. I only ever saw him vomit once. Okay. I mean, liquids and whatever he found in that garbage that was edible, that he thought was edible, he ate it. I'm not even kidding. But it's not that it's gross. It's that people see me eating out of the garbage. That's called being humbled. That's called humility. So when I do 48 hours of live streams and then I go on with Drew and I'm feeling my oats and my ego gets puffed up, that's not what's relevant. It's not the ego part of it. To me, it's that then I'm in some ways humbled. I'm kind of brought back down to earth by not being really able to kind of carry on through and being made to appear foolish. And that's the main point of contention with me and Tinfoil was, that he didn't want to just be like, yeah, I behaved very foolishly on your stream while you were asleep. But if me and him talked about this here, I would say, yeah, I behaved foolishly on Drew's stream last night because that's what happened. It's my behavior and I own my behavior. Right. But these, and I don't think 10 has mommy issues, but these young males that have mommy issues, 10 has daddy issues, which is maybe even worse in some ways. But these young males with mommy issues, dude, I can call Tartarian Truth a pussy. I can call Provo Kid a pussy from here to the end of time. They don't process that. That's not even, they just don't process it on those levels. I don't believe. It's neither here nor there for them that some old fogey like me thinks they're pussies, And look, and like I've said it on here before. It's over with for my generation, dude. Gen X is done. You got Bret Easton Ellis, I'm arguably still writing some relevant material. Beyond that, I mean, what does Gen X have at this point? I mean, we're de facto boomers. We're de facto boomers. We're aging out of this thing. It's a fucking young person's game. I can't say young man's game because let's face the fact, these young ladies, and I'm not even addressing the reversos and all that. These young ladies are kicking the shit out of these young males and have been for some time. You've got something like 5 women are getting bachelor's degrees for every 4 men, and it's probably worse by now. I believe we've already reached an equal number of males and females becoming lawyers, getting law degrees. In a lot of the ways that we keep scoring society, ladies are kicking the shit out of these young guys, period. I mean, can you blame them? Dude, if I had to be ahead of a team and to get a project done, give me 10 girls his age. Don't give me 10 guys his age. I'm not even bullshitting. If I got to get a job done, now the ladies, they'll have some physical limitations possibly, depending on what the task is. But I don't want 10 of these bozos. Give me 10 of the ladies. I'll take my chances with them. Yeah, you got a good point there, Thought Respecter. I've been saying for about 5 years now, bring on the sex robots. I mean, for real. I'm not even kidding. And it's a little tongue-in-cheek, but I'm kind of beyond that in some ways. But yeah, dude, it's a wrap. It's really a wrap, man, on all this stuff. It's a wrap. Yep. Bro, in a lot of ways, that's true. And see, this is where I got a great advantage being born where I was born, because my parents are boomers, but I was born into a fucking time warp in Arkansas. So I kind of had an advantage in that way. If I was born in Southern California or something, it might be completely different. I was born in 75. Like I say, it might as well have been 55. I mean, it was fucking old school in a lot of ways, man. Oh, no shit, JG. Facts, brother. Facts. Man, I feel bad for them people. And that's why, man, I don't have no problem driving this truck 7 days a week, which really I probably average 6.5, I guess, over time. But because this is my 3rd day off in a row. Yeah. So it averages out. But yeah, good Lord. Well, and then, yeah, he says, I think it takes a certain kind of ego to think you should be on YouTube. Well, yes. See, now here the point that you're making that I take to heart is this idea of prescribing to people how to be masculine versus I would like to hopefully I'm doing this now. Please let me know if I'm not, but versus me speaking to the topic and drawing inferences and more or less addressing larger sociological issues. And somebody said something about compared me to Mark Twain, and I think. I mean, obviously the skill level would be nowhere near that, but the kind of folksy but I'm discussing issues. Like I'm not really saying, well, here's the way out of that. It's more like, look at these young males with their mommy issues, and thank God I had a strong daddy type of stuff. Right. It's more of a social commentary, I would say, but yeah, I also am turned off, I would have to say, by, when it goes really heavy into the, like, we're gonna, speak words at you and we're gonna like hypnotize you into being able to mimic traditional masculine behavior, right? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Well, and I have studied this a lot, but I also, again, I was raised up in a culture where it's so old school. I would not be accepted in the community at the level of a man unless I had to earn it, right? I went to school. Dude, all through school, man. Like once puberty hit, I went to school with a big kid that played football. This dude's nickname, I shit you not, was Pussy. And it was mainly based on he wouldn't stand up to, like he let them bully him, right? And I never called him that because I don't, I find it demeaning. But meanwhile, I was literally the smallest kid in school till about 9th grade. And I just don't have the psychology. Dude, I bully the bully. Like, that's just obvious to me. Like, oh, you're going to bully me? Well, I'm going to bully you. Like, it's just fucking obvious. But, you know, there's something to, and again, back to the Jordan Peterson, like these male hierarchies, the, you know, jockeying for position, you get into hazing, rites of passage. Like these young guys, man, it's bad for them that they're turning out this way. It's not bad for me. I'm just annoyed by it. And I'm like, look at these fucking pussies. I don't think it's my job to fucking straighten them out. Now, I would like a world in which I could tune in and view his content. Same thing with Tinfoil. I would love a world where I can regularly tune in and, hey, there's Tinfoil's live stream and he's being conversational and he's being funny and witty and, you know, he's utilizing his high level fucking music skills and video production. That'd be badass, you know, but he's above it all. Oh, and well, I just don't care. Okay, well then don't care, but you're here, but you don't care. Right. You know, and I recognize that is the generation gap, right? That's literally the generation gap. You know, I'm fully aware of that. And I'm not even saying this is stuff to solve. I'm like, look at what we're doing, you know. That's where I'm at with it. Nihilus. Yeah. I believe, man. You know what I mean? Like I know my purpose. You know, I know my path. And by God, I'm going to do what I'm here meant to do in this realm. But why shouldn't I be able to? And the fact is, these younger generations, they do have some knowledge and wisdom that my generation doesn't have. You know, why shouldn't I be able to interface with these folks in a way where maybe they can take a little bit from me and I can take a little bit from them, right? You know, a give and a take. But why, you know, fucking mommy issues, man. It's crazy. It's almost unbelievable.
Y'all won't know what I'm saying. I have to enunciate and make these ridiculous faces. I'm saying you got some version of that if you want to tap into it. But if you want to be too cool for school, you can't do both, man.
No, I'm not
Too
trying to be.
cool for-
Listen,
You are. He won't own it. No, you're not trying. You are. You're too cool for motherfucking school, man.
okay, not acting.
Hey, bro, what sign are you, man? Maybe we can really get down.
I'm a Leo. I'm a Leo, bro. I'm a Leo. That's why I
there
asked.
you go.
That's
why
why.
This is the worst part of all this, because I do know enough about astrology, and I have Sun in Leo, and this motherfucker has balls in there somewhere. Like, dude, it's in there somewhere. It's blocked. It's hemmed up. Let it out, man. Let it the fuck out.
Well, I thought maybe you were because
Here's Leo is. I'm sitting around in junior high, or maybe like first year of high school. One of my buddies, he really likes this girl, and he really wants to get with this girl, right? And we're like, oh, ask her out, you know. And in that context, ask out means, you know, asking her to be your girlfriend, right? So he just bitches out, dude. I just stand up in front of everybody and like just publicly was like, and I wasn't even interested in her. Like, hey, do you want to go out? And she's like, no, you know, no, she didn't. But then later on, when she went to college, I was a year older than her. Now, next thing you know, I ran into her at some music show, and we're like, she's making out with me, right? Like, because she was attractive. But it's like, dude, you're gonna be a bitch. I'll just show you how it's done, man. So that's in him somewhere, man. Like he's not able to. And I know that's kind of a bizarre story, but like, you know, that wasn't seen as strange or weird necessarily back in the day. There was a little more leeway to behave somewhat bizarrely. People are definitely much more sensitive to these just bizarre, weird behaviors, I would say, than in the past. It would seem, and in youth, like I say, man, nobody ages out of being a fucking weirdo. Like when I'm young, it's really not a problem. It's, you know, as we get older, it's like, man, look at this fucking weirdo. Yeah, I'm a fucking weirdo, but I was a fucking weirdo back then. But I was 15, and it was just for whatever reason. As long as one is not creepy, you know, that's not really a problem. The weirdness, people kind of like it in some instances, but I always appreciate odd people, weird people, but not creepy people. And he's being fucking creepy with this the way he was talking to Paul earlier. It did seem like that's like does he not know that that's like a stereotypical like hitting on somebody? Like in the 70s, you know, it was like, oh, what's your sign? Like that's what the guys were asking the girls, you know. Like it's a fucking come on. It's literally associated with I want to hit on you. I'm a male that wants to hit on a female in this context. Like there is that connotation.
That's why you're so
No,
powerful
he's not
like a lion.
I'm detecting some late July though, am I right?
Wow.
August 6th. I'm August 6th.
August 6th. See, this is a crime against humanity. Mine's the 12th, by the way. This is probably Leo too. They break all signs up into like, oh, not this, no. All right, this ain't it. Yeah, and a lot of this is bullshit. I mean, I'll just go ahead and give it to you like that, obviously. We need the actual birthday book. So right here, fire is the Leo's paired element, and you actually have a cardinal connection to the element. The influence of fire can be seen in the way you passionately and energetically take on life. And what did he say earlier? He said he lost the fire. Well, he's not producing enough testosterone, part of which is he's drinking alcohol excessively. The major effect of which is it lowers testosterone. And it fucks up sleep, which guess what? Also lowers testosterone. And earlier on the previous stream, I was doing squats and push-ups. I guarantee you I'm producing more testosterone than this guy. Guarantee it. When you find something interesting or challenging, you tackle it with great fortitude and determination. Are we seeing fortitude and determination out of this fella? See, it's in there somewhere, man. It's in there somewhere. This is borderline
You're
disgusting.
good, man. What's your problem then? What the fuck?
No problem. I don't know. The system shooting me down. I guess I'm not looking here. No, I just speaking, dude, I don't know. I don't even know what my point is on here. I didn't expect Paul and Slade. I didn't expect to be on here with Paul and Slade.
Came right up, though.
Paul and Slade for the growth.
Hey, bro, can you ask him to not keep saying my name like that? It's creeping me out.
Yeah, you're creeping
Can you
out.
move me over? Actually,
Yo,
could you put me over there? Could you come in the
That's
middle
your
and put me over there?
title. It ain't my title.
Put me over there. I don't want to be next to him. No, I'm still next to him. I'm saying, could you be in the middle? No.
No, I gotta be in the middle.
The way he keeps saying my name, man, he might be like involuntary celibate and retaining, and he might have an expulsion event. And I don't.
An expulsion event. That's funny. Nature versus nurture. That's a good one, man. I mean, it's got to be both, right? Because I mean, we're just talking sun sign, by the way. There's obviously way more to astrology, and astrology ain't the end all be all. Like that's just one piece of the puzzle. You know, I'm not even saying. My thing is like, yeah, I took whatever I could use from astrology. I used it for what I could use it for, and I just leave the rest. You know, like literally everything else, right? But there's a reason why, if I talk to a male Leo long enough, I can always figure out, oh, you're a Leo, like 100% of the time. Like there's something to it. I'm again not the end all be all, but there's something to it. But why am I running? By the way, it's like, why am I running into all these Leos? Sometimes it's just like Leo. There's just everybody's a Leo. Sometimes it seems like. But by the way, I'm not running into female Leos on here. It's always male Leos. Like, what is the fucking problem, man? Maybe they don't have a pride to lead, right? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'd like to know your thoughts, actually, Thought Respecter, but you may not want to share them, which is fine. But I'll give it some thought and see what I can figure out. That's not the type of, I mean, honestly, that's not the type of topic and it is a general broad topic. I'm not necessarily good at addressing general broad topics just like off the top of my head, but I'll try to see what I can come up with over time. But just initially, it has to be both, is what I would think. Bukowski, yep. Big fan of Bukowski. I don't hate people. I feel better. Exactly. Yeah, I feel better when they're not around. Yep. 100%. Facts.
I don't want to be near that if it happens. Insanely awkward and creepy for me. I'm just saying.
I do appreciate
you. Why you gotta do this, Paul? Man.
Thank you.
I'm not sure you're doing this. It feels like to me.
Yeah,
he
is.
Again, subjectivity, relativity.
Mr. Aji, that's Paul. Now he tricked you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, I get it now. I got it. I mean, like,
you know, we don't kick people off, so you're gonna have to bring something here.
who, me? I don't know,
No,
dude. I'm trying to bring a realistic fucking point. I'm trying to bring like a realistic, structured point.
What do you think, Paul? I think he's in his head a little too much.
Yeah, get out of
I
your
agree, I
imagination,
agree, I
man.
agree.
You never watched Jack Talcott? He's going live soon. I might have to pop over there for a little bit. But
Preempted by
get out of
Talcott.
your imagination and out of the past, man. Back to the now.
All right.
Preempted by. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, thank God.
Here we go. There he is. I knew.
There's-
I just want to know.
Here's the buffer.
Is this real?
Is this real, man?
It's still
Seems
real to me, damn it.
Is this real?
Still real to me, damn it.
You're buffer it, man. Paul, I don't know, Paul. What do you want me to do? Rage on you, dude? Like, you want me to rage on you?
No,
Paul?
just
Like, what the
stop being
fuck,
all
man?
pretty
What,
creepy.
Paul?
Stop
You
being all pretty
fucking
creepy. I didn't
He's too. He's a.
Like, what do you
tender
want?
man,
I don't know what you
Paul.
want. Do you want that same feedback?
That's the
Always,
thing, even
you
you
always
asking me
want
like
that same
that-
feedback.
No,
Like,
that's
you
the
always
thing,
want
like-
this visceral argument. That's what you want all day, every day,
No,
all
you're
day.
doing it again.
Let's
You're
do
doing
it all
again.
day,
You're
every
careful.
day. Let's
Hey,
just put out this fucking angry
need some help.
energy. Let's put this
Please.
angry energy out all
Please.
day, every day.
Someone got who brought this guy?
I brought me. You brought me.
Well,
here.
now-
You,
now
I don't know. I guess you
Now
brought
my
that.
new
I
internet
mean,
friends
even
don't
like
know
this
that I
look-
want to hear from Yurt. Like, what is
Yeah,
happening?
let's
Okay,
hear
yeah,
from
let's
there.
hear your buffer.
Here,
It's the buffer. It is the buffer.
want to
Don't
ask
get too
a question.
deeply
I got a
philosophical here.
question.
Let's get real. Keep it pragmatic.
Nice
Right.
way to get real.
But first, I want to welcome.
Get real,
you,
JP.
Let's do that.
I want to welcome you
Fucking-
both to the cult of the unslaved. It's a little rough in here, but it all works out.
Can't hear him. Can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me? You
Oh,
gotta-
I don't praise
I can hear
bro.
you.
I'm just saying you got a voice.
Okay, here's a question I have. I just want to toss it out here quick for Benton and Mr. Unsaved.
Can't hear him at all.
So, in regards to Talcott, because Benton chased Talcott off my original channel one time. He called out the NLP programming.
Why can't I hear him?
So
Hey, he's mumbling again. He's the guy with his mama's spirit. He's mumbling again. He's
Yeah.
like he can't.
But so here's my question. and I
Exactly,
mentioned this
thought
earlier,
respecter.
Paul, on your channel. How would we know if Talcott is in
Exactly.
fact an agent of some sort, officially, not just
Mumbling.
spiritually and emotionally? How would we be able to tell?
So that would be the
this
nature
point?
argument,
Yeah, I
right?
don't think you can ever tell until you reach a certain point where you can tell.
Like, what would be the
It's-
characteristics?
The characteristics are, I guess, a canned presentment that seems scripted, which on one level he has sort of go-tos. But again, how do you discern an agent of the Gubernare Mente or some agency, some corporate agency?
And see, Moose, by the way, another Leo. You have to say it with your chest, man. Exactly.
versus an agent of Shaitan, the deceiver? If one is deceived against itself, it all looks the same. They have sort of a set of rap in their mind that they go to present in certain situations to appear authentic. But behind it all, there's no purpose and meaning. And if you follow them, you're going nowhere. Right? So it's all the same thing to me. I just have to question then, is it an agent of a deception or is it an agent of a corporate organization, which is still
I don't know. I find all that stuff interesting. That you just that's outside of my wheelhouse, thought respecter. Like I'm very curious intellectually, but and people get this idea of, oh, Benton's a know-it-all. Like, no, the stuff you're addressing, I know almost nothing about. Like, for real. I tend to have like areas where I know a whole bunch, and then like the other stuff I don't know much of anything. Yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah, the stoned ape theory. I've heard of this, but is that the something to do with the mushrooms, eating the mushrooms, and of course the brain development? Yeah, who knows, man? I don't know. Yeah, he is, man. Moose is a weird cat. I agree.
the same thing, because if you're an agent of a corporate structure who's part of the deception, then you're inhabited by the same spirit. It's all the same thing to me, right? But I just have made the determination that Talcott has been through a lot of shit in his life, trauma, as they say, and he's built up this image of a reality in his mind that has to be that way no matter what you say to him. Because if it's not, he doesn't know who he is, what he's doing, and why he's had to go through all this. What's the point? What's the reason? Right? So it's like an ends justifies the means ideology where everything has to line up with that. Like they say with me with the cult. They say it and believe it before they go to looking at it. So by the time they look at it, everything has to lead back to it being true. And they'll formulate every narrative.
By the way, totally right. Everything he just said. And remember, Yurt, attacked Paul on the basis of occult and narcissism. And everything Paul just said is absolutely correct. I think it bears repeating. And that's why somebody like me, that's one of the, other than the entertainment value, that's one of the reasons somebody like me will listen to him, because, dude, he does come correct. But there is a lot of the weird manipulation BS. Yeah, there is, man. 100%. It's there.
Deceiver. If one is deceived against itself, it all looks the same. They have sort of a set of rap in their mind that they go to present in certain situations to appear authentic. But behind it all, there's no purpose and meaning. And if you follow them, you're going nowhere. All right. So it's all the same thing to me. I just have to question then, is it an agent of a deception or is it an agent of a corporate organization, which is still the same thing, because if you're an agent of a corporate structure who's part of the deception, then you're inhabited by the same spirit. It's all the same thing to me, right? But I just have made the determination that Talcott has been through a lot of shit in his life, trauma, as they say, and he's built up this image of a reality in his mind that has to be that way no matter what you say to him. Because if it's not, he doesn't know who he is, what he's doing, and why he's had to go through all this. What's the point? What's the reason? Right? So it's like an ends justifies the means ideology where everything has to line up with that. Like they say with me with the cult. They say it and believe it before they go to looking at it. So by the time they look at it, everything has to lead back to it being true.
And that's what happened with me when early on I was interfacing through Yurt's channel and didn't know enough, hadn't studied Paul, and just went along with it. And then for a time I'm doing what he described, but then eventually I reassessed and I'm like, oh, okay, well, actually that's not what's happening.
They'll formulate every narrative to make it fit that turns out that way, right?
Dude, how funny was that last night, the Tony Robbins stuff, walking up the coals? He walked on the coals, and he's like, it hurt and it burned his foot.
I mean, listen, if that's a corporate agent, that's good material.
Hilarious.
Unless he's winging it, like they tell him, okay, stick to the script and then ad-lib. If he's an agent and he's ad-libbing Tony Robbins walking across coals material, he needs to do more with that, okay? Because you can't make that up, I don't think. That's gold. Right? Hey,
Yeah,
man,
I'm
I
over
went to the Robbins
Talcott.
Seminar and
Yeah,
walked
I'm
across
over it.
coals, and now let me tell you about how
I'm
an
officially
honorable
over
man.
the Talcott.
You know, that and Wayne Dyer will get you on the bus with $1, right? That Wayne Dyer and $1 will get you on the bus, as they say
Yeah.
back east.
I no longer cross the Mason-Dixon line myself.
Dude.
There's a joke in there, but it's a family broadcast. I'm just going to make it about Talcott, but I'm not going to get into it.
No, it's not. Well, thank you for blessing us and gracing us with your presence. And I am a big fan. I've been enjoying the live streams here of late. And you are referenced frequently on this broadcast by myself. But generally, with respect to I'm conveying a specific idea in a specific context, not just I have to do it soul read analytics, not just merely worshiping your very visage, as it were.
Well, Mr. Benton.
Bro, I'm
if
not.
neither-
Listen.
Damn,
Paul
see,
talk.
he
No.
cut Paul off. I wanted to hear what Paul was going to say.
Oh
Never
no,
say
I ain't gonna let
anything.
Paul talk. Paul always
Our time
talk.
is
Paul always
limited. This
motherfucking
is
talk.
broadcasting, sir. Our time is limited. The man's not going to stay.
This is what I mean about broadcasting. Like, you got three people who can more or less understand, like, hey man, let's fucking, something important needs to, be conveyed. But this guy has to fucking hit us with his feelings.
I get it. I'm not here to praise. I'm just saying Paul's got a voice.
Come back later and have your say.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just saying later.
Hold
You
on,
barely
Ben.
got
I want to hear him. Don't suppose that I won't stay here all day. If that's your
Oh,
polite way of
it
throwing
is
me out.
saying.
This is also interesting here.
Worshiping your very visage, as it were.
Well, Mr. Benton.
Bro, I'm
if
not.
neither-
Listen.
Let Paul talk.
Paul, no,
Have your
I
say.
ain't gonna let Paul talk. Paul always
Our time
talk.
is
Paul always
limited.
motherfucking.
See, I'm like, his time's limited. I'm saying, we don't know, but I'm being genuine. I'm like, we don't know when he's leaving, but Paul seemed to interpret this as if I'm trying to get him to leave.
Broadcasting, sir. Our time is limited. The man's not going to stay.
I get it. I'm not here to praise. I'm just saying Paul's got a voice.
Come back later and have your say. I mean,
Listen,
is that
I
not
ain't
reasonable?
later.
Hold
You
on,
barely
Ben.
got-
I want to hear him. Don't suppose that I won't stay here all day. If that's your
Oh,
polite way of
it
throwing
is
me out.
saying.
That's your polite way of throwing me out. Just get me the hell out of here because I got to go see Talcott anyway. I got an appointment with a bunch of people. Today.
No, we
I got
actually don't.
nothing to do and nowhere to be, oddly enough. This is what they pay me now to do. Truth Movement
Hey.
Brigade Policing, apparently.
Awesome.
I don't know what this is. It's an asylum. Go ahead. Let's hear from this being down there one more time about how I have a voice, and then I think we'll wrap up.
See, you see what he did there. It looked like I was going to be the one to, usher Paul out the door. And then he took back control of that. And then he was the one to be like, okay, now I got to go. Right. That's just like, that's one small part of pimping and macking. And then I say to him, I see what you did there. Because I did see what he did there.
Oh, okay. I saw what you did there, Paul, by the way.
I wish I listen. For some reason, when Year come in, I couldn't hear anything. What Year said, which is what I wanted to hear. But
Great stuff.
fuck, man. So anyway, I don't know, Paul, dude. I ain't trying to. Fuck, man. I don't know. I guess that's not.
Come on. So read
You ever seen it like, okay, if you could take yourself out of being you right now, you ever seen a segment like this on like Sean Hannity or anywhere like that, even in Slave World? Like, you ever seen like the mind-numbingly dull hour where someone like you comes on in the dark and then mumbles incoherently next to Sean Hannity? They never do that. And maybe that's why people listen, right? Even if it's mind control, someone's watching.
Have a
listening,
take,
at least there's a
Don't
percentage.
suck.
That's true. I mean, I believe there's a creator. He's listening.
Wait, but you just do the thing, man. You're talking about doing the thing. Do the thing.
He knows
What
my
sign are you again, sir?
I'm a Leo. I don't sound
Right.
Well, we got to look at the rest of that chart.
All right, let me
Yeah,
hear
I
your
was just
line. No,
curious.
we're gonna do
I
an
was just
exercise.
curious.
Sir, get with it. We're inspiring fire here. You say there's a lot of fire. I want to hear your lion roar right now. Let me hear you
My
roar.
lion
Like
roar.
a
All right,
lion.
here's my lion roar. My lion roar is very analytical, and it's very.
No, get out of your head.
Yeah.
It is. Well, it is because it is analytical, dude.
Right
We
from
live in
your
a
belly,
time,
sir. I want to hear it. Your lion's roar.
motherfucker. Dude, my lion's roar is.
Ah!
The lion's roar gets nowhere. No one can hear. It's just a bunch of loudness.
It's
a loudness.
It's the line
This
from
is
the
great.
Beaver Mouse.
Loudness?
Girls his tail
Right.
and he's
What the
analytical.
fuck,
All right? He's
man?
got the spirit of his mama. He said he was looking for courage, and he went to the midget behind the screen. All right, sir, you keep at it. You're gonna get somewhere here. I got faith in you.
Fuck you, Paul, man.
Oh, well, hey.
You're just an asshole.
Anytime you want.
Dude, you're great. You're great. Like, you're great. Like, honestly, you're
Yeah.
Reach down between your legs and you can grab your nuts.
Yeah, I got a big cock. I'm a
Always
fucking.
right.
Whoa, we don't want to know what the big cock is, sir. Again, you're off the mark. Different conversation for different.
I'm trying to
Wow.
build myself up here. I'm trying to
AG,
build
what are you
myself
into?
up
You
here.
want to know what size cock he has? You were talking about his
I'm talking
grabbing
about
his
the
balls
nuts,
and
man.
something about manhood, and he went to telling you what he's going to do with
Yeah,
his
I'm
penis.
going
and
to
you-
the tunnel. What do you want me to do?
Come
I'm
on,
going to the
man. You're
tunnel.
doing it again. You're
I'm
doing it
going to
again.
the
You're
tunnel.
awkward and creepy, bro. We're trying to help you out.
Yeah, it's a little cringy. Can't disagree
Just
there.
read analytics. I'd like to welcome
God, I
you
wish
to
I could
Cole.
hear
He
from
goes every day,
You're-
usually for about 4 to 12 hours, and he's willing to be your dad.
I did 20 the other day. I did a marathon,
That's
20
crazy.
hours.
And you'll find it. Soul Reading Analytics is a good dude. He's a smart dude. I
He is
can just
definitely a
tell,
smart
you know,
dude.
Paul,
I-
you
I-
motherfucker. Hey, you're trying to instill the anger in me, huh?
Yeah,
Let
trying
it
to
out,
get
man.
that Jezebel harlot.
Hey, when the anger doesn't work, bro, I tried the anger. So it's like a. What do you want me to say? Fuck, dude. What do you want me to say? We're all trapped in our own little boxes. Wait, you want me to spit the truth? I'll spit the truth, dude. You want the
Yeah.
truth? It's analytical.
Yeah.
It's
might be
it's a
wrong.
hybrid of the truth.
Oh, 100%.
Soul
Yeah,
Read Analytics,
100%.
Tony
Well, you
Robbins.
already
Well, and then what I find, one of the things I find fascinating, Thought Respecter, is it is wild dynamics because the feeding into his ego, Paul's such a powerful, strong personality. And, I have some elements of that, but not, maybe not in this format, not to that extent, right? It's not really about the comparison. I've noticed many people, they actually almost seem to be using the person with the strong personality like as a replacement for their personality, because a lot of them have just weak personalities, right? So it's like they're feeding into this, movement of this powerful personality, but it's for their own purposes. So where we get with the cult-like dynamics with Paul and Slave, to me, what I came to understand was it's not Paul starting a cult and there's a bunch of brainwashed bozos following him. It's a bunch of people who want to turn him into a cult leader, like literally. Yeah. And I would say this, man, you guys may have noticed how quick I got puffed up, like just how, and Drew was like, man, you seem like you're really feeling yourself, like, dude, look how quick I got into my ego. Right. But then only to be humbled again, which is, on some levels what I need. But Paul does seem to be managing that in that he's not, nobody, seemingly he's not being manipulated based on, with a lot of people, and I can fall victim to this, although I don't need anybody's help, for the person to become so big-headed, it's almost like, well, now my head's filled with helium and I'm just going to float off into space, more or less, and just say things that I know sound completely ridiculous. But in that moment, I'm feeling my oats so much, like I just don't care that I sound ridiculous. And I don't really see, Paul he does have versions of that I've noticed, but he does seem to be able to keep it under wraps. If I'm making any kind of sense. So I respect that for sure. And then, I think there is there's something to it. It is fair play. Some of the pimping and macking, it's just fair play, as like, if they're going to let him pimp and mack them, what are they getting out of that also? Like, and then you get into these concepts. I've studied enough of the gender studies and the weirdo sexual deviance. Like, there is a concept called topping from the bottom, where a person will initially, they'll assume what appears to be the subservient or submissive role, but then there is the possibility of them actually leading from the bottom, as it were. Like that is a real thing psychologically. But see, this is all the stuff I talk about, that tinfoil straitjacket. He's above all this, and he thinks it's ridiculous that, you know, I would come on here and like, who am I to break down psychology? But it's like, man, people find it interesting. I find it interesting, and I trust that, well, if I find it interesting, there will be other people who find it interesting. There may not be many. I may not be able to access very many of them, but there is some amount of people who find these breakdowns interesting. And those people are probably people who understand some of these dynamics already. It's like, hey, that bozo in the Southern accent who lives in a truck, he just verbalized this thing that I've been seeing, but I never quite had the words for. And now I have that all the time with stuff I listen to. It's like, okay, yeah, I already know this, but like I enjoy hearing someone verbalize it. And again, I'm on record, dude. The audience is smarter than I am. Ask Dark Glasses Woody. I've been saying that since the old days of the podcast. I said, look, the fucking audience is smarter than I am. You know, in some ways, I am the fool. I'm just foolish enough to open the mic and just speak at length and put it all out there, which is the point I was trying to make with over at Drew's panel. But I was, like Woody's pointed out, I was at like half capacity because I drained off too much of my mental energies, so I didn't quite have the resources to pull off what I was trying to pull off. But what is that? That's called ego and arrogance. By then, my head, the positive feedback, I had allowed it. And by the way, I know that I'm doing this. I had allowed it to inflate my head to the point where I didn't even care. It was just like, well, I know I'm probably not going to be able to pull this thing off. I'm just going to try it anyway. And then that's almost like a cut off my nose and spite my face, you know, at a certain point. Hey, what's happening? Musical's a Secret. Good to see you. I'm trying to hold myself to a hard out around 5. I would say 5 p.m. hard out. We're going to see if I can, you know, I talk about having a lot of discipline. We're going to find out. We're going to find out today, 5 p.m. Central hard out. All right. I'm a fan of Nas, by the way. Yeah, TBE's on his second childhood. Yeah, it might still be his first. Well, I mean, and that's the thing is, like, you know, the fact that there's people who might arguably like to hear me break down psychology at times, like there's some tinfoil has something he can do where somebody else, they'll kind of already know what he's talking about, but then they'll want to hear it because it's entertaining and it resonates with them. And there's just, I was talking about this last night with shout out to Mr. Miyagi. Like, there's over time, there's less and less and less outlets for just an actual discourse monologue or one-on-one discussion of actual intellectual ideas. It's going away, you know, in a lot of, and especially in just a free form, like, dude, I don't know where this shit's going to go. Fuck it. You know, let's do it. We'll do it live. Nas ain't got shit on J-Ru, the Damager, or KRS-One. Well, I mean, realistically, Del the Funky Homo Sapien is the greatest living rapper at the level of his skills, but he's pretty far out there. I don't know that he necessarily cares anymore. But if you want to just go pure skills, Del the Funky Homo Sapien is without a doubt the most skilled rapper alive. I don't think that's debatable. August 12th, by the way. August 12th, Leo.
Again,
Yeah,
a
you already-
hybrid.
you already
Hybrid's
talked
like,
about
Well, it is because the fucking
I get
enlightened
so
mind. The enlightened
Come on,
mind.
bro.
All right. Since we're talking rap, we're gonna listen to some Del. If you don't mind. If y'all will humor me for a second.
oh, boring.
People have the memory loss. They don't remember I'm the boss. You're claustrophobic when I close it. In on your men and your faculty. Your whack be out my face. You must be basic if you think that you can tackle the triumphant. I'm pumping the volume increases, you nieces get sliced to pieces. Please listen to my album. Even if you're white like talcum and a pagan, just stay in tune with my tune, and I presume it's the doom designated to anyone who stated a word against me. I serve an MC simply. Put like my foot up your anus, you shameless. Trying to get over, I'ma go for mine. You know the time, now that I'm older, I'm gonna rip niggas' heads with the said salutations. Introducing Dell and his myth for boosting tales of my adventures. Attempt to try and you will live or die, whichever I choose to lose. Crews get ashamed cause we blame them for fighting. You
Facts.
win if you start writing and stop fighting. No time for games. I rearrange my vocals in your headphones. I vote till I get an answer, acknowledging
Yeah.
all the whack records. Hieroglyphics, you know, respect it. Who caught the horn? You caught the form. If you're a friend, there's no need for a law. Who caught the horn? You caught the form. If you're a friend, there's no need for a law. I get juice when I let loose a little of my cleverness. Up under my follicles with no moose.
Choose your weapon, you kept stepping, you swept in a hurricane. That will blow your brain.
So your next generations of youth.
Yeah. Shout out Mike Polento.
Gums get split if you
Yes,
bitch.
sir.
I'll extract the truth out your ass like I'm standing in the pulpit. Or a lie detector wreck your sector where you're standing. I can't swing branding, expanding on what I'm handing to the people. Cause we will, and you can't say a damn thing about it. If you doubt it, you're already out of line. So let me remind you behind about the switch which I used to bruise your bottom. That little nigga tried to cut, I caught him. He didn't think that I would see that.
Gotta say, man, this was sick as fuck for 93.
We sapped the strength and lapped the lift around the whole course of time.
Just
It's now
effortless.
the time to unwind. Who caught the horn? You caught the form. If you're a friend, there's no need for a law. Who caught the horn? You caught the form. If you're a friend, there's no need for a law. We MCs make me Earl. Earl is your world is crushed because I gotta make you hush. You gotta be eliminated. The way I demonstrated, you hate it, but still I am the greatest. Like a boxer, I'ma knock your socks off. Nowhere to run to, exits are blocked off.
Steadily I'm dissing men. I hope you're listening.
Brothers like my flow, others ride my
Jock
track
like a bicycle.
But I'm psycho, fools try to play me like Tycho. Got to pull the rifle, Daisy, graze the ass with the BB. It comes speedy, sign the peace treaty, or you'll be needing medical attention when I leave you bleeding. Throw a monkey wrench in your program, crammed up your ass, and it's just too bad, son. Catch a bad one. Who caught the horn? You caught the form.
I wonder if JG remembers who my favorite rapper is, by the way. Let's see. I remember your favorite skateboarder, JG.
If you're a friend, there's no need for a law. Who caught the horn? You caught the form. If you're a foe, I'm gonna break your fucking arm. You know what I'm saying?
You never knew. It's like that and a hieroglyphics, yeah. Trying to remember if I can. I used to know like I had that whole album memorized at one point, JG. But I got something. I'll try to remember something I know the words to. I'll give you all a little rap here. All right. Well, I like this album, man, but it's like super fucking dated. The album this was on. I forgot. Oh yeah, Third Eye Vision. It's a great album, man, but it's super fucking dated by today's standards. This was like peak Pep Love. After dark. After dark is ripping season. After dark, it might happen for the wrong reasons. After dark, and it don't cease until the break of dawn. I shoot the breeze.
In the heat of the night, what you gonna do? After dark,
Yeah.
yeah. Why don't
You come into when I'm into.
slip into darkness and listen? I rhyme on you.
See, I don't remember the words of this.
Alter my ulterior assault to inferior thoughts of people. In the process, the party we will wobble, but it don't fall down. And
It won't stall now. Beware, the boy's bad after 7 when the mic goes kick. My mic ejects nitro into my bloodstream. I get to gushing, cold crushing lyrics so much, reach out and touch things unexplored.
From hits to flops that plummet the
Synopsis is we rock this shit day and night, but it gets intense to extent. I used to know all these words.
Protected by the microphone and nightfall, I fall in my zone and it's on.
After dark is ripping season. After dark, it might happen for the wrong reasons. After dark, and it don't cease until the break of dawn. I shoot the breeze.
After dark, it's ripping season. After dark, it might happen for the wrong reasons. After dark, and it don't cease until the break of dawn. I shoot the breeze. I see the moon
And get hectic like the ocean. Who that in the back causing commotion? Draped in black, killer on the attack around the God. I don't know how to act, so give me a smack on the black hand side, telling me that I am intact. It is the charisma that gets you paid. It never rains in the Northwest.
We profess to be the best, the rest can rest in peace. Cause
Time is the right time for the hieroglyphic icons to drop bombs.
after dark
It's ripping season. After dark, it might happen for the wrong reasons. After dark, and it don't cease until the break of dawn. I shoot the breeze.
After dark, it's ripping season. After dark, it might happen for the wrong reasons. After dark, and it don't cease until the break of dawn. I shoot the breeze. That's how we rock the mic. I'm Olympics Imperial. Non-stop. After dark, the sun ain't shining. Good love. Mind power. The next level. Nighttime.
After dark, you see the joint sparking, dogs barking, territory that I'm marking cannot be walked upon, or your worst fear will be embarked upon. I'm bringing Armageddon to your chest, and you know the rest is history like Rapunzel's golden tresses. I couldn't care less about a brother in a vest. I will shoot him for the knees, making him dance and plead for me to put him out their misery. My wizardry is a dream. Clean. I used to know that whole thing. With the reality that the day goes on until I don't know about deserve, but the dark, and it don't cease until the break of dawn. I shoot the breeze.
After dark, it's ripping season.
After dark, it don't happen for the wrong reasons. After dark, and it don't cease.
Until the break of dawn.
Facts, thought respecter. Hard out 5 p.m. by the way. We got 2.5. And then it's a wrap. All right, I think I actually remember the words of this.
You're all the way gasoline. You're all the way gasoline.
Last one, last rap I'll subject you to. Negative. No lot lizard stories.
Back in your system with extra strength. We eat MCs out the way and surpass them. But what's gonna make it different than the last one? Boy, you touchable. No need to get apologetic. Get your bottom dollar better. This your problem. I'ma let it alone.
The high priest on the microphone.
Taking historical,
Lyrical oracles to the dome. I'm rapping. Need I discuss? My rhymes make your brain bleed like something has gone wrong in my brain. Let's see if you can serve these suburban seas. Are you 33rd degrees? I figured it out. History's mysteries.
My kinetic, energetic, poetic motion subsides your synthetic.
There you go.
Pressurized. Back up off the microphones, what I suggest you guys.
Let's see how many rappers can go the limit.
Back in your system with extra strength.
We eat MCs, out you and surpass them. What's gonna make it different than the last one? Let's see how many rappers can go the limit.
Back in your system with extra strength.
We eat MCs, out you and surpass them. But what's gonna make it different than the last one?
I'm the epitome of shit we be trying to do. When we go and write a rhyme or two, you need some competition, boy, you better find my crew. We make clean cuts like a diamond do. Incline in the mind, And the beat filled with perfect time or two. When I come to your community, I'm flexing diplomatic immunity, connection, protection, legalize MP5 just to tear up your section. Oh, I practiced, man. The fucking booze has taken a toll, man. I used to know this whole fucking album. But yeah, I could get back to it. Great album, but dated as fuck. Peak Pep Love, by the way.
Yo.
Peak Pep Love. Oh, hang on. Hold up, JG. What's happening?
My fault. You gotta look up Never
Yeah.
Faded by Lords of the Underground. One of the
Okay.
coolest fucking tracks I've ever seen, dude. The music video, how they recorded it, the lyrics, it's like one of the best songs ever made. Mad underrated.
Yeah, they'll probably. I can't play the video, but we can do the song.
This shit is insane.
In here with the Lords of the Underground, straight from Jersey, kicking nothing but mad flavor from the underground. And it goes a little something like this for your punks. Do it all, never faded. Supreme C, never faded. Funky man, never faded. Lord Jazz, never faded. Mullet Skills, never faded. Do it all, never faded. Funky man, never faded. So check out the style he created. In this corner, we got the brother with the rays in his hair. The real nigga with the
Nice.
Grim Reaper spear. 5 feet 8 inches, 210 pounds, kinda chunky. The brass monkey junkin', Mr. Funky. I'm tired of all these rap rappers always into something. You need to mind your business, ain't nobody ask you nothing. See, I'm not getting paid by another man's creed. Don't take me for a joke, cause I'm not scared to bleed. I heard you say to Mr. Funky, I'ma dish your ass. Let your boys got you up and up and
Yeah, I've never heard this. JG's knows some stuff I've never heard. This is pretty good.
Are you watching the music video?
No, I don't want to get the
Gotta
stream
watch
taken.
this.
Just listening.
Mullet Skills, never faded. See, never faded. Funky man, never faded. Lord Jazz, never faded. Mullet Skills, never faded. Free the beggar, never faded. Do it all, never faded. So check out the style he created. Well, you're lying, boy, doesn't fade it off the monkey, but not off an MC, cause none of them can touch me. I squeeze my thing with the swings of a kick, and sometimes up a verse that I usually sing. Like I'm that brother, straight from the under. My name is Do It All, but you can't be my lover. Well, stop, I'm not a rap singer, I'm a hip hop, so yo, get the finger. Special guest on my show is the nigga from my way, and I ain't changed my area, it's still New Kid J. I'm still from the mix with the funk of the kicks, but I put my
Bro,
man
what do you like?
that other junkie script. Hence the parlay with Marley, step boxing in the hallway. I want to.
I want to.
Yeah.
Like a doodle when you're mocking like a bird. I'm still that brown nasty brother from the block of 19. Who will gonna play you Tuesday for some brass monkey wine? So I'm wonder, cause with one soda this funk you be poking out your watch. I'm back on the stack of these fabulous raps. Now I'm spitting real quickly
Aha.
with my teeth with gas. Every the Lord of the under, I go back to my roots, and if you don't know the bio, Chief Rocker was the proof. Supreme C, never faded. Do it all, never faded. Mullet Skills, never faded. Rated R, never faded. Free the beggar, never faded. Do it all, never faded. Lord Jazz, never faded. Supreme C, never faded. Special guest on my show, we can flow, we can flow. Special brother on my show, we can flow, we can flow. Special guest on my show, we can flow, we can flow. Special brother on my show, we can flow, we can flow. The world, I'll be eating niggas up like jaws. Scare you up until you bleed through your pores. Follow you home, then I kick down your door. Run up on that ass, put your brains on the floor. Think about it before you step to me, chief. Filled with grief and prepared for any beef. Rush too high, don't try to enter my mental state. I deflate any fat rhymes that you make. So
break or get kicked like soccer, missing like hopper or broke off proper. A smooth groove to remove like subtraction. Back in the max in, prepared for action. I represent the hostile and wow. A funky chow, my style flow like the now. My mic is burning, back up, don't touch ya. I'll crush ya, like the breakdown of Russia. Don't test, lyrical styles I possess. Protect your chest from the best with the best. Scheme less, cause many murders make a mess. It's the stress that got me bucking like the West. Tell me, who's next to move up and get bruised up? Mad cruiser get chewed but won't move up. Listen and react to the man. Supreme C and the C's for command. Flipping the script like the script should be flipped. If I need protection, it's right on my hips. Boom, bye-bye, who I hear your mom's cry when you lie in a casket, covered from your head to your toe. Your body flow up like the smoke from the endo. I kick flavor, ranger, pistols in the air, make a prayer.
So Reed.
Relax and sit back and listen to the way I react on the track. Fucking man, never fade.
Am I here?
Yep. Hang on just a second. I hate to cut that off.
Yeah,
I can't find the
Yo, they
fucking
shot
volume.
that. They shot that whole music video. They shot that whole music video in one take. You got to check out the
Oh,
music
really?
video.
I'll watch it, man, when I get a chance. I just don't want to get the stream taken down.
What's up, JJ? What's up, Benton?
What's happening?
No,
So Reed, what's your real name, man?
my Rich. I just docked myself fully. I already got myself on camera.
Oh, your
right?
first name?
No, my first name's Andrew.
Drew. All right,
Nice.
got you.
Another Drew, right?
There you
There's a
go.
lot of Drews in these chats and shit, too.
Indeed.
Yeah, man. I don't know why I'm up. I clicked. I haven't been watching. I don't want to watch myself get trashed. Actually, what happened is,
well, here.
oh, fuck,
I
I didn't
won't
want to
really
get into
go
it
at
because you guys can call me loony.
All right, hang on real quick. Thought Respector, I won't really go at him while he's here. I'll wait till he's not around. So.
Thought Respector, dude. Who's this dude? He's like,
He's our resident troll, but it's like we've adopted him. He's slowly becoming one of us, whatever us means.
you stole him from Truth or Cub?
He's a trust fund kid.
Well, that's fine. Trust fund kids are people too. If that's indeed the case, which I have no way of knowing.
I'm just breaking his balls. He might be a trust fund person. Who knows?
I wouldn't care if he was.
But how's he in the fucking chat all the time? I don't know. I haven't seen him that much around
I don't know.
before, but you see the same people in the chats. These black screens are what the fuck, man.
There's something to it, man. Something.
Yeah, there might be. I don't know, man. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, man.
Cause what'd I do? I wasn't even watching or anything. I open up my feed, and then I see like your flash of the deal, and I see my face. I'm like, oh great, Benton's fucking. And I wasn't even watching it, right? And then
Yeah.
I turn it off, and then I get a notification. It's like Tartarian Truth, like a short of one of his archaics or whatever, and it just says you're getting bait. Something about archaics, and he's like, it's called getting baited. So I'm like, oh, what is this? How's this shit work? I don't know. Is that a synchronicity? Is the technology fucking with us? Is that like Tartarian Truth just saw that, and then he's like, I'll throw this up?
That's a good question, man. I don't know.
Coincidence. How's that shit work?
I don't know. You tell me.
How much are we getting fucked with on these screens, right?
Dude, there's a lot of fuckery going on.
We're definitely getting fucked with, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. How much of a pay for? Anyhow, yo, I didn't mean to fucking I don't even know why I was up there with Paul. But
Well, mainly
hey,
a
at
lot
the
of
very least, in my defense, I don't know. I don't, really
don't
care
defend it.
about defending
Fuck. Who cares, man?
At least you got his figured out his sign, right? And then you got a different rise out of Paul than probably you ever get. I don't know. I don't watch that much Paul.
I actually kind of wanted to talk to the guy, but it was good to have a layer where, because I've noticed with other people, he'll kind of bring them into this zone where he's like really challenging their beliefs. And I just didn't want to get into some fucking having to defend myself at the level of being a corporate slave type of thing. You know, I just wasn't interested. So I'm kind of
So
glad
it
it
kinda
worked.
worked. I kind of took the bullet for you. You know?
Well, in a way, but some of that's based on I just wasn't willing to get rid of you and kick you off. And in fact, I let D-Rex and JG go for a while, and finally I was like, look, I'm never going to get to talk to Paul unless I just kick him off here, which I didn't want to even do, but it was like, well, I guess I have to.
You know, I
when
was
he
thinking
came
about. I
on-
was listening. Sorry.
What?
go ahead,
When he
Ricky.
came on, you muted me twice.
I muted everybody.
Yeah, I was trying to say something and you kept muting me and you got that fucking grin on your face.
Bro, I had that grin on the face because Paul was there. I literally muted everybody.
Yeah, well, that's like the tone that gets brought, right? You know, I guess reading the room, you know, a bunch of people are coming in the chat from Paul's too. The way it worked out, right? The way he came in.
Yeah.
But that just went nuts for what, like fucking 10 minutes with
Oh,
D-Rex?
it was longer than that. Yeah, it went
It was like,
it went
I
so
should just
long that
exited then.
I just now got to this part of the breakdown. I haven't even I've never broke down this actual part of the tape before.
D-Rex
We did-
retired after that, man. He's in retirement
did.
right now.
Dude, with his injuries, I guarantee you that took a lot out of him, man. I feel bad for him.
What I wanted to bring up was, before I forget, sorry, I don't want to interject,
Go
is,
for it.
I did catch, and you guys were debating it out with 10 or whatever.
Oh yeah,
You
that
brought
I
up
did very well.
his
Go ahead.
tone. You brought up his tone, right? But that's such a huge, you know, setting the tone, right? So it's obviously a huge fucking thing.
Yeah, they just acted like it was neither here nor there. I was like, I know I'm onto something here.
Well, yeah, and a bigger level though. What they call it, setting the tone. Your voice is your tone.
Tone
So
policing and all of that. Yeah.
TBE's
So,
a
I don't
punk ass motherfucker, man.
I don't know. He's got, dude. He's just got that trigger for people, for sure. He does.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's witty. He's like intelligent, and the tone, like it's like trigger. It's hard not to get triggered. These streets are crazy, dude. You guys are nuts. Everyone carried over streams for like.
Dude,
Just seeing you sleeping, I popped in for a minute.
Yeah, this weekend was wild, man. It was crazy.
Truth or Bull weekend. Maybe the end's coming, you know?
Yeah, I think I'll be able to stream when I'm driving, and then otherwise I'm just gonna have to set a hard out and just no matter what's going on, I'm just gonna have to drop off. That's just how it's gonna have to be. Otherwise, I'll just end up not sleeping, which is obviously
Fucking,
good.
well, I think it's kind of good though, because people at this level, I don't know, with all the fuckery and all that, like everyone thinking everyone's an agent, right?
Yeah, I don't get into that.
So if you go 24 hours, maybe it's a good sign you're not. I don't know.
Man. The one thing is, once somebody makes their mind up, literally anything you say, it just reinforces their belief. It's not like they're like, "Oh, okay, well, I was mistaken."
Yeah, that's the problem with
Yeah,
these
well, I don't
levels,
even
all this
engage it.
shit.
Well, you know, I went into Chalk Body Outlines Discord like almost 3 years now, and just from day one, they just have been calling me a Fed, and I never even bothered to. I'm just like accepted it, like okay, you know, and I make a joke out of it.
The thing is that Discord, dude, alone already brings people in like guns blaring. You know, it's like because it's so volatile. The Discord, even though it's just people just clowning around, but it's just like ridiculous. You know, it's like whatever. The tone's already getting set there.
And one thing I do want to say is, and Thought Respecter might find this interesting, dude. I'm good in the text chat. Like, I'm nice with the fucking text chat. Just say that. So Discord is if it's mainly we were mainly doing text battles, and I'm pretty good at that format.
Yeah, well, they like gift bomb too. I've been staying out of it.
Yeah,
It's
but
just,
you
like,
know what?
way
I
too much.
actually didn't understand it at first, and I learned it while I was on there. I actually got
Same with me.
Yeah, man. And I had a broken foot, so I was in bed for 3 months, and I learned how to make my own. Which I was
They're
not that
cool.
good at. What's that?
I said they're cool. I mean, I guess I don't know how are we communicating these days through gifts, and there's like always an underline. I don't know. They're clever, right? I guess.
Absolutely.
So much cleverness going on. It's like it's hard to get straightforward truth out. I guess sometimes. Is JG still on it? Can't really see.
But yeah, I don't have a Discord for this, but if anybody wants to start one, they're welcome. But I actually don't do Discord anymore. It's just too bad. It's just I found it to be harmful in my life overall. So no more Discord for yours truly.
Yeah, I would probably second that notion. I'm not really in there. I just hop into. Actually, I was never really in there. I just hop in and drop some shit once in a while.
There you go. And I was a big message board guy back in the day. So that's kind of why I got interested in these Kiwis, because I went and I was like, what is this? Kiwi Farms. I looked it up. I was like, oh, it's a message board or people from a specific message board. And I'm like, okay, I used to be involved. So it's probably cool. You know?
Okay, now I get that reference. Truther Cop is always saying Kiwis. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was on the same forums for like over 10 years. I fucking love that shit. But then they started getting weird with the wokeness, and I was like, just permabanned myself and got the fuck out of there. And I'm never the type to start a AE and go back, you know. Once I'm out, I'm out.
I wish I get the sound louder.
Yeah, you're feeding back a little bit.
You can't handle it.
Well, Cherry
Wait till,
Jello,
like,
the last time I was on Discord, I was literally trying to drink myself to death. So that was the Discord and the alcohol definitely combined for some not so good times. But and a lot of good times.
Yeah, alcohol's a bit. I don't really drink that much, but it's like I don't know. You come on these things. So I had like
well, at
4.
your age, I did, by the way.
I used in my 20s. I drank a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forget you're in your 30s. We had this conversation. I can't tell old people are anymore.
Yeah, I can't keep up with it either.
Oh, I'm
How old's JG? Like 35?
I'm not sure. Thanks, Mike. I'll fix that. Echo? Okay, good. Appreciate you, Mike.
Panels on panels, y'all.
I know, man. I'm mainly just going to do one-on-ones.
Oh,
and when JG's here, he's so good at getting in where he fits in. Like, he doesn't. It's still kind of a one-on-one, even though he's also here. You know?
So, yeah, man.
You know, I will say, and sorry to interrupt you, that is a skill, being able to. JG seems to know when to get in and when to get out. Certainly a skill to that. I'm echoing again. Fuck. No bueno. All right, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I can't. My shit kills my phone if I use the camera. I realized too. A couple times when I'm at both times, my phone died. Put up this fucking towel picture.
Echo, echo, echo. Hello, hello. All right, I think I'm good, hopefully.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Dude, I used to have. Oh, it's back. Fuck. Fuck. No, dude, it's not me. It's Soul Reed. Because I muted him and I quit echoing.
Hear you, and I hit the play button, and then
no, you
echo.
got the echo, man. When I muted you, it stopped.
Yeah, it is. It must be my phone because I can't. You go silent, and then I hit. There's like a little play button. I hit it, and then you start echoing. Must be. So shit. I don't know if I should just sign out.
For the text. Now they want to see my text chat skills. You got to be a flow, man. Like we all got to be at the same, you know, doing the same shit, playing off each other. I can't do that while I'm talking on mic. I'm not that. I don't know, man, and maybe I can't even do that anymore. Maybe my skills aren't as sharp. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's part of the reason why I'm never like, oh, you're talking shit in the chat. Why don't you come up here and talk? It's like, man, they're probably really good fucking writers, and they don't want to come talk to you. Like that's what I always think. Because sometimes, even though I can talk, sometimes I'm in the live chat, and it's like, no, man, I'm here giving y'all my fucking comments in the text form. That's gonna have to be good enough, you know. Like I'm doing shit. And they're like, oh, why don't you come on up then? It's like, what the fuck, man? Don't y'all want my content?
Yeah, that's true. You need good people in the chats to
Yeah, it makes a
keep
huge
the
difference.
flow and kind of truth drop and whatever.
When they give good comments, I have something to play off of. Like if I hit a lull, I can read a comment and it'll make me think of something I want to talk about.
Yeah, Woody dude dropped some good ones.
Oh, he's the man, dude. Number one. He's the number one fan of my podcast when I used to do my podcast. Did you hear any of that? I played some of my old episodes over the weekend.
No, I haven't. But it's kind of interesting. I'd like to hear it. You were talking about just whatever, seeing this coming, but
yeah. Well, I made a few things I made a few predictions that have not come to pass, but that's all right. There's a lot of since it was on my website, I didn't have to worry about avoiding the key phrases though. So there's a lot of the key phrases going on.
True. You think, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, man, people are just saying that. I don't even think it gets your stream taken down, but maybe.
Not anymore, man. It did for a while, but I don't think it does now.
Yeah, it definitely did, like during the heat of
yeah, they don't seem to care now.
Well, man, they're like releasing shit like I don't know, man. The world's so fucking crazy. What the hell? What's going on, you know? Like, with these screens, man, we're getting ran through screens, like, so
well,
we're getting programmed by the screen, right? Really, let's get realistic.
I learned a lot over this weekend for sure. What I learned is if I have time and I don't have to, because a lot of times truck driving, I have a hard out where it's like I can't be streaming at certain times. So if I have unlimited time, I just have to set a time and be like, once that time comes, I just got to stop. That's the only way it's going to work. So 5 p.m., we're going to find out if I'm a man of my word or not. That's the thing. I'm not going to want to go. I'm going to want to just keep going. 2 more hours.
Yeah, it's addictive, man. It's definitely addictive.
Yeah.
Yurt was kind of spoke well of it. Like,
yep.
And like, see, you know, how MK Ultra platform, you know, reality kind of definitely is. Well, there's just so many ways you can be fucked with that. I don't know, and these synchronicities. You know who I liked is that the Mr. Miyagi.
Yes. We're gonna do a podcast.
He was once he warmed up.
I'm gonna do a podcast with him.
He's pretty he had some good takes. Seems pure,
real
you know?
good, real good. I had a convo with him last night, if you haven't heard that yet.
Dude, I don't even know. I hopped in and out.
I know there's too much. It's too much to
and
keep.
then it's like,
honestly, it's like I don't even know what happened. I mean, seriously, like I don't even know what I said where, so I can't expect you to have heard some shit.
You know what it reminded me of is like it was kind of cool. It was like just seeing like the end of I popped in for a minute. They had like you on sleep cam. Like I didn't really watch it all yesterday, but because it was my sister's birthday. But it reminded me of playing like long poker sessions with people with no sleep. And it's kind of like people's inhibitions get let down, you know. So you kind of get like
definitely get a little loopy.
It's good,
kind
of.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
get people's real thoughts, you know. It's like,
This
world's a fucking trip, man.
Yeah, see, I really want to. We talked about this. I want to play, man, but I don't want to be around those bozos, man. I just don't want to be around them.
Dude, yeah, and it's really gotten crazy since the virus. I didn't want to go in at all because of masks.
Well,
I've basically been
I
on.
didn't do it at all during the masks. Okay, so go ahead, please.
No, of course that's like a good. Well, I don't know, man. It's like you fucking wake up and it's like you question how many people are already just awake and just don't care and they're just playing their role, you know.
But sometimes that's me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, I get it.
Sucks, dude. It sucks.
So it's like you get all this information and everyone online's like, oh, everyone's a sheep and la la la, and it's like kind of makes you question, like, well, how many people actually are?
85%.
Yeah, it's like, it runs in my mind like, oh shit.
But does it even matter? Like,
yeah, it's true.
It might be worse if everybody came together and fixed all this shit.
Yeah, we're in a mess. What I see, Tranquil Vorix, she threw up some good scripture of like, I shouldn't even brought it up because I can't recall. But she threw it in the chat, and it was like the point of everyone not knowing what they were talking about altogether and just in a room kind of thing. And it's had some parable like that to it. But yeah, I shouldn't have really brought that up without knowing the scripture.
Oh, you're right. Paul ain't here, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Paul, dude, I don't know if he's a hard dude to disarm. I don't know how much of I don't know. That's his deal.
A lot of pimp game, man.
Yeah, dude, and he's just got that, like the tone set, right? That's why I went all goofy. Even I had a few drinks. It's like it wasn't that. Maybe I was trying to do some next level things at the time. Maybe. Who knows? I don't even know.
I've actually studied pimp game and running games, so like I see a lot of what he's doing.
Oh, and then you mentioned like reading off a piece of paper. So he's got like
maybe he's got writers. You know, like that's fair. It's fair game when you're doing a show. He's doing a fucking show.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know,
you would need that. Probably, I would need that. I mean,
yeah, and I know he's got a team. Like, not like, oh, I assembled a team and then I started a live stream. It just probably organically came together. Like, I need somebody that can be my producer, like while I'm live streaming, while I'm driving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll find that over time. You know, Truther Cop's probably not. He's probably a little too busy to do that. But he definitely has the skills to do it.
He's an animal, dude. He
is an animal, yeah.
He's like everything as well. He's cool. I like his takes. When he talks, he doesn't really speak to that much that often, but when he does, he's
profound usually, yeah.
You can tell he's pretty intelligent dude.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We the enlightened few, he says, huh?
See that, but you know, is that genuine? Is that he trolling? Is he being sarcastic? Like that's kind of the fun, is like trying to figure out. And that's what I was talking about last night. Like the old Chalk Body Outline Discord, the hazing is so strong. Like it's almost impossible to trigger me through a text chat now. Like people can definitely get to me like talking on a panel, and at one time I could be triggered through a text chat, but it's basically impossible. Now these guys might be able to pull it off. I'm just saying it's very difficult.
Yeah, no, you're right. It is like a hazing. And then what happens is you just get gift bombed. Like they just, like 3 of them come in and just fucking.
Exactly.
Like one, Dang is one of them. And then like, I don't know.
See, Dang, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And there's like, they keep changing their names. I can't keep up with this shit, man.
But dude, Tinfoil is nice with the gifts, but from his phone, which I'm like, how are you even doing this? Like, that's the generation gap. So I'm like, I'm pretty good on the laptop, but he's doing it on his phone. I'm like, how the fuck are you this fast on your phone? It doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because dude,
I agree. I was thinking the same thing.
Words a minute, man. Like for real. I don't know how the fuck he's doing this shit.
I know it brings up questions. Sometimes I'm like, how are these people in these chats all the time? How are they in? How are they everywhere, man? It's like an internet generation, I guess. See, I'm like from that generation, but I'm like wasn't that into it, you know. I guess, you know, the bite of the apple, bro. It's on the phone. But yeah, I don't know. In general, actually, Tinfoil is pretty cool with me in the Discord. He was like, he'd do his little triggers, but he wasn't like over the top with. I don't know. He didn't.
I don't know, man. Me and him just have a hardcore personality conflict, and I don't think it's ever going to resolve. It's just my opinion. People seem to think like, oh, there can be a coming together. I don't think it. I think it would have happened by now. We actually managed to coexist for a time, but overall, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat.
Me and him.
It might be the way it's meant to be. You know, some people are just meant to.
Yeah, exactly. When he did refer to me as his enemy, I mean, once somebody's my enemy, like that's pretty much just we're not going to be. How am I going to be friends with my enemy? It doesn't even make sense. I mean, seriously. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
But you know, as far as going head to head, like he's a worthy adversary. If I lose, man, that's just like I'm not some fucking person who can just go out here and kill everybody online. You know, I can pick my spots and do okay, but you go up against somebody like that, and you might take an L. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and some people just master triggers. I mean, you know, fuck, dude.
Well, yeah, and I'm particularly triggerable. I'm getting better over time. But yeah, for sure.
You seem pretty good, but that's like it kicks you into that mode, you know. Whatever you
A
got.
lot of practice, man, in the last few years. Dude, I had literally 3 months in bed with a broken foot, and I was just on my laptop all fucking day for 3 months.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Fucking
Well,
YouTube streets too, and so it's like people are coming back to. I don't know. I never even really went off to these other platforms once I just ran my gauntlet of all this awakening programming, I guess you could say. But they're too hard to work on. I couldn't imagine running a not that I even run a channel here, really. I just throw up bullshit, but just working on those platforms, I'm surprised. It must be there's a lot of people on them because these people get a lot of subs on there.
Where's that? Like Rumble? And
Just
stuff?
like on Odyssey or BitChute or whatever. You know, like Davey Crocco, he runs all his shit through.
Yep.
Through Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I was like at the beginning, I tried to open BitChute was like impossible to work with at all. I tried to upload.
Oh yeah, BitChute is trash.
But it's like they want certain content pumped on there, right? So it's like it seems like certain channels are allowed or must function on there. I mean,
well, like Crocco had trouble on. Well, actually, I'm not sure, but me and Drew did a show on D Live for like 2 months, and D Live worked great, but it's just the actual platform looks like trash.
yeah, I saw that coming up too. I was getting like pumped for a while. People were going, "Come to D Live,"
yeah,
and then they all end up back on YouTube.
Man, this is just where everybody's at for people who aren't on fucking TikTok all day. And I don't want nothing to do with them anyway. And in a way, TikTok's a good thing because it keeps me away from these bozos who are on TikTok all day.
Yeah, that dude, I can't even deal.
I'm never gonna install that app. I'm never going on there ever.
I just seen it. I'm like,
that's bad. That vertical scrolling, that's very bad.
Yeah, dude, that's like some.
It's bad.
Who knows what that's doing to you? And the kids these days, you wonder why they're so ADD and shit. It's like,
dude. So like,
dude,
I'll
the kids.
Real quick, I'll watch a short on YouTube, but I don't do the scrolling. I will not do the vertical scrolling. Go ahead.
Yeah, I never do either. Oh, I was just gonna say, like my nephew. Yesterday was my sister's birthday party. Man, I always ask him about his school and shit. Like, just curious what's going on. Hi, how you doing? Sorry, someone's walking by. And he's like, dude, they got these AI. He's telling me I don't know, just school. I feel bad for the kids, but.
Oh yeah.
He like wrote a paper with a AI program, right? The teacher actually knew. I forget what the program was called, but you just punched in the guidelines. I don't know if you've seen any of this shit, like the people do the artwork with it, but you just punch in whatever certain principles that you need written, and the AI will write it.
Yeah.
And the teacher knew, right, and confronted him about it, but kind of didn't really care. And he's like, "All right, I'll fix it." And there's another app he used, and there's an app built for the AI app to make it seem more human, and he just put the paper into that, and it made it more human, like whatever, rewrote it, and the teacher bought it. So I imagine a lot of kids are doing this in school these days. So I mean, what's going on with schools? What are kids actually learning? Fuck.
I can't call it, man. This now I'm being named honorary Gen Z by Thought Respector. Shout out to Thought Respector. But here's something I noticed years ago. Like, these boomers are 20 years older than me, and in their mind, like, I can't know anything because in their mind, well, they have 20 years more experience than I do. So what could I know? But so when I look at somebody 20 years younger than me, I'm like, well, clearly they know some shit I don't know. Because I know some shit that my parents don't know. Like, can I humble myself enough to try to learn from these bozos? I mean, I do look at it that way.
I have a similar take. And then I think, I think that about I definitely think that about older people as well.
They just won't.
I think they got more knowledge. And it's
younger, man. They won't. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. I was gonna say it's like just real boomers like my parents. They're like, shit, they're 80, but I can't imagine them like dealing with technology, and they're on there. Like I never figured my dad would be on a fucking smartphone. So it's like, how are they taking the programming? I know, like, I don't know. They just believe. They come from an era of where they believe what they're told. I mean, so it's who know. I just think it's reaching a point, dude, where there's just so much information that people have to be realizing. All right, it's, not all these stories can be real. Like these screens, man, there's something to wrap your head around. I mean,
Oh, I know it's wild, man. I'm not gonna figure it out, but I will not be mastered by it. This is like you're gonna master it or it's gonna master you. I feel like it's cliche.
True.
It sounds cliche, but
no, you're right though. But you could, I mean, obviously, it's I don't know, like my take, not to get into it a bunch, but I think the main thing was like go inside, right? So that whatever hit, I don't know if we could say it, let's see hit, but
yeah.
it was like go inside, get on your screen, which is like how many people did? A ton of people did.
Yeah,
But obviously, the world kind of just shut down, right? So
yeah.
So what's the play? What's the real play?
Shut down, yeah. Yeah, what's the real play?
Yeah, so
it's always multiple ways, though. It's always multi-layered and multifaceted. We tend to think,
for sure.
we're looking for just one thing. It's like, no, it's a bunch of things.
Yeah, you're right. I 100% agree.
Yeah, but that's how our brains work. So I get it.
But yeah, it's divided people. It's put people on. It's like everyone's taking their own personal programming, really. And these feeds, I don't know. You could start thinking about the data and the refeed with the data and how much you could just be manipulated by the feed, right? And what you're getting.
I see it happening, especially something like the Amazon app, because I buy a lot of shit on Amazon because of Amazon Locker. Since I don't have an address,
yeah,
I can see that fucking thing manipulating me. It almost sold me a fucking LCD this morning. I was like, I basically didn't buy it because it was like this selling me an LCD. Like cold calling me and selling me an LCD screen. Like, no, I'm good.
It's insane, man. It really is insane. The way
yeah, it's off the fucking rails.
It is insane because you really start to think about it. Like if you got a mind for it, think about and how much manipulation could be going on.
It is going on. And
yeah.
If you ever hear these old folks when they want to romanticize the past, that shit sucked, man. We couldn't buy anything. Like now, dude, I've got money to buy whatever I want. Dude, in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, you couldn't buy nothing. You had to, like you could buy a couple of things. Now you can buy pretty much whatever you want. Like that's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, listen to this, man. My parents had money, and when I was a kid, we rented a VCR to watch movies on the weekends sometimes. That's how much a VCR cost.
I remember that. So we had a video shop in town. You could rent a VCR.
Yeah. It's crazy. And like now it's just like, oh, you want a fucking DVD? Oh, I want to listen to some. I bought some CDs. Hey, I need a CD player. Oh, DVD burner for my laptop. $17 was shipped.
Yeah.
What is this? Yeah.
You remember when computers first came out? See, I'm like right in between that age. You kind of are too. That's what they made a new name up for that generation. The split half with technology, half without. What's that?
I didn't touch a computer till college.
Really?
Yeah.
So I was like super into it, but it's like, you got a computer and it's like $4,000 for nothing. Computer.
We're not going to buy that, so we didn't have one. And now I'm talking to you on a used ThinkPad I paid $180 for, and it works fucking great.
And now you can do all the shit with just a thing in your hands. I mean, it's nuts, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. Can you imagine if they just yanked it, right? They yanked the net. I'd be curious what would happen.
I don't see it happening, but you never know.
Yeah, I don't either, but it'd be interesting. People would have to communicate in real life eventually.
Well, I was waiting tables at Outback like in, I don't know, 2010. And I can vividly remember like some younger, like teenagers came in and they all sat at the table and every one of them pulled their phone out. And I was like, it won't be long before they're all sitting at the table and instead of talking face to face, they're just texting each other.
Yeah.
Like I could see it. And of course that's happened.
Yeah, it definitely is. Dude. My brother came over. He lives in Germany, but his kids came over, and I'm like, man, we're all sitting in at my mom's place, and he was visiting in the summer anyway. I'm like, so we got 1, 2, 3. So I just counted the screens and said, oh, it's like, so we got 7 people in here, and six of them are on screens. I pointed it out to everyone.
Exactly.
It doesn't even faze them. They're like, yeah. So yeah, kids are. Yeah, shit, man, makes me feel old.
You're getting there, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Shit, dude.
Well, like I like to say, once that first number turns from a 2 to a 3, it's a wrap. You're not young anymore. If you might still pass for your 20s, but you're old once you hit 30. It's over.
I thought 30s were good. Mid, that's like the best age. 30 to 40, I think, is the best.
No, your peak is.
Yeah.
Well, if you learn how to live right, your peak's going to be probably like, I don't know, 36 to 43, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you say that before. I agree.
Somewhere right in there.
Yeah.
I don't give advice, but when I was that age, I did everything I could to maximize my natural testosterone production. But not by, taking fucking anything that would cause it to go down in the long run. Like whatever I could do to make my body produce as much as it could. I think that's important.
Yeah, I agree.
So some of that is like going to sleep, getting good rest, fucking exercising,
Yeah, definitely exercising.
Saturated fat, dietary cholesterol. And then with me being homeless, man, that jacks up the testosterone. Just living fucking wild. I'm not recommending homelessness. I'm just saying it's a thing.
But yeah, you got to be. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
You got to be a little more savage for sure.
Yeah.
I'm homeless.
Survive, kid. JG's an interesting character, man. I think he's pretty reserved though. Like he doesn't, he kind of clowns on everyone. But I rarely see him really get triggered.
He's our spiritual compass, or maybe not even that. So I don't know how to verbalize it, but yeah, it's an important function for sure. But we're talking about him like he's not here, which is really kind of rude, I would say.
I thought I just assumed he's in the chat.
No, he's joined. He's here.
Oh, you're there, JG. My bad.
Yeah, here.
Every time I hear you guys talking about me, I'll correct you, and you guys be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I made an assumption." You backpedal.
You're right, JG. I can't argue.
Sorry, JJ. My sound went away. Couldn't hear you at all because when someone new, it's whatever with the app.
You gotta get
Ben's got a bad echo right now.
That's me. Fuck. I'll just pause. I won't be able to hear you. That's all good though.
Come on, Drew. Stop fucking up, man.
He just needs to mute when he's not talking, but that's all right. You're muted, Soul Reed, but you can unmute anytime you want.
Hello.
See, I don't echo when he's muted.
Yeah, it's good now.
1 hour and 40 minutes. See, if I have to sleep tonight because I've given my word that I'm going to go do this thing, and I have to sleep to go do this thing I got to do.
I fell asleep last night, and man, it got cold around 4, dropped to like 52 degrees.
Oh shit!
But
I like that weather personally.
Yeah, when you're not prepared, it kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, it's annoying if you don't have the right sleeping setup for sure. It's hard to sleep when you're like, oh, fuck, it's cold. I'm sure you made it through just fine, though.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, you wake up a couple times and then you fall back asleep. I woke up around like 8:30. I just got up.
Mm. That's interesting. Sean says you look someone in the eyes when talking to them these days. They label you autistic. See, it used to be the opposite. People would be like, "Well, you can't be autistic because I can't be autistic because I make a lot of eye contact." That's kind of interesting.
I hate to look people in the eyes because I know they're all full of shit, you know?
Yeah.
Seriously, you look somebody in the eyes, you can just read them. You can see exactly what they're doing.
This is true. The eyes give out away a lot of information.
I just try to be brief.
My eyes are damn near black, JG.
I picked up an order earlier. I do it all the time. And the girl's like, hey, what's the order? Like, she had to, like, start some drama. And I'm, like, looking at her, and she just folded, man. Put her away. Like, I was like, you guys see me every day. And she's like, okay. Like, she just froze up.
Yeah, JG chilled her out.
People, nah, I mean, they want to start drama with, you know, somebody that they're, they don't like or they feel inferior to, you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I catch that shit all the time. I'll be just casually doing my thing. Somebody will just try to flex on you, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of that, I would say. Man, they're playing games with this hotspot data. They're saying I've already used 3.5 gigs of data. There's no fucking way, man. That's not even possible.
That's that Karen mentality, you know? Karen's got to start shit. But, I mean, guys are Karens.
Oh, I know.
I see dudes like this guy right now, like 10 minutes ago, I'm about to cross the street on my bike, and he makes a U-turn and, like, gets real close to me and stares me down. I'm like, what the fuck are you staring me down for? Why'd you get that close to me? You know, like, people deliberately do things just to, like, try to.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That shit happens to me all the time.
Just to fucking try to get a rise out of you, or they try to feel that's what they think is tough, you know? They're trying to be tough, fake tough.
100%, man.
Weird flexes.
But then, like you said, if you fucking just challenge them, they just immediately fold.
Oh, yeah. That's that little white kid shit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember one time I was in a truck stop waiting in line, and I don't ever cut line. I don't believe in cutting in the line. Like, it doesn't matter. And I'm one of those people be like, hey, were you next? You know, like, so I couldn't really tell, man. And I guess I was annoyed. Like, it wasn't obvious who was next. And so I kind of looked at this guy, and then I went in front of him. And when I got to the register, he started trying to whine about I was cutting. And I just looked at him. I said, man, I don't cut in line. But I said, basically, because of the way you're acting, I'm going to cut in line. It was just like,
yeah.
Whenever I started to go, he's supposed to be like, no, man, I'm next.
Yep.
I'm like, you just let me. It's like, it wasn't clear, and you just let me. Like, if you would have just said, hey, man, I'm next, I would have been like, oh, yeah, my bad. It's like, because you let me get to the counter, I'm going to be next.
Yeah.
Because you already know he's a bitch. It's like, what is this, man?
All right, thanks, Posty.
I will say, there are times where I just don't feel like dealing with it. It's just like, I'm tired or whatever. I'll just like let them go. I don't even care. But I'm not going to be like, I was next. It's like, what the fuck? Like, once they get to the registers, like, what the fuck is that? It's bizarre. It's strange.
People are too timid and insecure, and then they make shit weird for you, you know?
Yeah. Because, you know, I'm already kind of cranky, and now I'm like looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You know, like, I really wasn't looking to fight, you know, not physically fight, but it's like, man, I'm not trying to be in here being tough, but good Lord. And then sometimes, man, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
the way you carry yourself can really throw people off. If you're just casual, you know, you're just being your normal self, right?
Mhm.
That'll throw people off.
It can. See, I have this thing because I have this thing called monkey man. Like sometimes I'll be in these environments and it's like they force me to just go like be as like use my full body language, like almost like cartoonish. And I'm like monkey man, monkey man. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have to assert myself like that. Like I would rather just be able to do my thing and have people leave me alone. But it's like
Yeah,
if I need to puff my chest up and strut around, like that's not really a problem, you know. It's comical because I'm like not a big dude, but it's like
you say monkey man, to me it's like fucking I turn into a good fella. Like the mobster comes out.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like talking a specific kind of way.
Yeah, just like, oh, I was getting a sandwich, and the girl's like, what kind of cheese do you want? I was like, provolone. And she's like, okay. She's like, she comes back. She's like, you said cheddar, right? And I was like, I said provolone. And she just froze the fuck up, you know?
Yeah.
Shut her down instantly. And she was like, oh, fuck, you won. Like,
yeah.
You know?
But meanwhile, that's not even aggressive. It's just neutral. You're just like answering her question.
Yeah, but I could see she was, I could read her, you know, she's playing that game. You said cheddar, right? Like, even her tone, and I'm just like, you need to get fucked. You need to get doggy styled, you know?
Oh, I see. Yeah. She's cranky because nobody's giving it to her. Yeah, that is a thing.
Well, I'm not saying that. It's just, she's just playing games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that mobster comes out of you, you know? And then people are like, oh shit, he's an asshole. It's like, you're the fucking asshole. But that's how it is, man.
Mm-hmm.
People want to bring that asshole out of you, but they're the fucking jerk-offs.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but and by the way, in the chat's reacting some kind of way to what you're saying, but I will say this for the chat. What JG's describing is a big reason why I limit my public interactions as much as humanly possible. I've lived my life. I've been out in public for years, and at this point, I just want to get away from these people. Like, just stay away.
Yeah, Thoughts call me a Chad. Is he feeling insecure right now?
I don't know.
Seriously. You can be the nicest guy in the world, and people they'll start to play games just because they're fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I think they're interpreting this as you're saying this as a way to,
say it again.
I think they think you're saying this as a way to sort of look cool or tough, but I know you're not doing
that. No, not at all.
It's more just like you're almost forced into it.
Once again, see, they're doing it right now. Oh, he's trying to be tough or he's trying to look cool. Not at all. That's not the case. You're pinning that shit onto me. You're pigeonholing me as a cool guy where you're a cool guy in me right now. Not you, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
People get that twisted up, you know, oh, he's trying to be tough. It's like, no, I'm just being direct. I'm being fucking real. You know?
It's funny. Yeah. Asking active agents to understand spiritual attack. Shout out to Andrew. Andrew always manages to put things in the proper context. He just shows up and just puts things in the proper context. That's quite a skill. Shout out to Soul Read Analytics for hanging out with us for a little while. Dropped off at some point. I would like him to tighten up his commentary. Other than that, I like talking to him.
What's he getting at? Asking active agents?
Yeah, I think he means I think he's talking about the trolls. And you're talking about being spiritually attacked, but it's like that's how I interpret it. I mean, I never really know what the fuck's going on, honestly. I just have to give it my best guess. I'm not reading the room is not necessarily my strong point. Shout out to my autists in the chat. You know who you are.
I'm sure you can read the room well. You just try to
it depends.
You might be in denial about it.
I don't know, man. I guess it kind of depends on what's going on. If things get aggressive and contentious, I don't have any trouble reading the room. But it's like when everybody's trying to play nice and shit, I get confused, it seems like. But then the internet complicate in in the physical space, I don't have any problem reading the room. It's on the internet that I have trouble reading the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, in person, I have no problem whatsoever. I need to make that distinction. Yeah.
I didn't fail on the female interaction.
I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough in them homeless streets for a player.
Once again, look at what Thought's doing. Look at his tactics.
Yeah, he's a troll at some level, and that's not it. Troll, by the way, no longer even really has a negative connotation. You know, at some point that seems to have kind of flipped.
Well, there's trolling, and then there's like being serious. Like I think he's being dead serious. I don't think he's trolling at all.
Well, but then you get into meta irony, right? Like this is something I'm learning, like from the younger folks. Like you get into irony and meta irony and like a whole fucking spectrum of irony also. Like it's kind of interesting to try to figure out like where is this coming from versus where are they trying to portray. It's interesting.
Yep.
I really do the text form. I feel at home with the text form, and I was a huge reader in the past. I've read a lot, man. Read a lot in my time. And IRC, man. I said I was on the internet since '94. Like back then, there was a lot of IRC text only chat. Like a lot of that talking to people.
What is IRC?
Internet relay chat. Back in the day, it was like basically like a very early form of something like AOL Instant Messenger, but it's all text. Like there's no like clicking on things. Everything you do is a text.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope, man, for the time. And some people still use it, but it was really cool back then. Yeah, MIRC. Yeah, Thought Respector, since I'm old as fuck, I was using IRC. I had a Unix shell account at the University of Arkansas in 1994. And so I was actually just using a text-based Unix shell IRC client. In fact, now that I think about it, I literally emailed the fucking system administrator and was like, hey, man, could you install IRC? So I'd like to check out IRC. And my first email address was benton@uark.edu because email wasn't even really a thing. And they didn't realize yet you can't just give the guy his last name without, like initials or whatever. Kind of a trip. Well, I mean, I'm not an OG. I'm just old. I mean, that's really it. My buddy just was like, hey, man, I found this thing called the internet. You'd love it. That's literally this guy from my dorm. That's how I got on the internet in '94. And I had full-blown fucking internet addiction, man, for years. And I was a big computer nerd. I worked at a computer store. I used to build PCs, fucking, go home, play with my computers. It's fucking just the whole thing, man. For years of that.
That female interaction, right? She wasn't flirting or being cool. She was being a dick. Like she was
passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I think some of these people just think you're supposed to just roll with it and just, not even care or whatever.
Yep.
Which it is debatable because ultimately, aren't you just trying to get your sandwich and get the fuck out of there? So, I mean, they do kind of have a point, but then it's like, how much can I turn my, how many times can I bitch out before now I'm just a bitch?
That's what I'm saying. You gotta be direct. You gotta hold your, stand your ground.
Well, no, you got him. Y'all got to him a little bit. So yeah, that's, of course we're still on this.
Still on that.
I mean, but you see that they have a point, right? I mean, they do have a point. It doesn't mean that they're right and you're wrong. But this is a point of view that has some validity, in my opinion, for what it's worth. I tend to agree more with what you're asserting, JG, because I've lived in a similar manner. But the thing for me is, dude, if enough shit goes wrong, it's like, do I have to just go get back in my car or get back in the truck and just try this later? Because it's one thing when you go somewhere and like one thing like this happens, but like when like three things like this happen in a row, it's just like, now I'm so fucking discombobulated. Like real life, I'm being trolled in real life almost.
Yeah.
Do I have to just go back out to my truck, wait 30 minutes, and just try again? Like, what am I supposed to do here?
I have fun with people, man. You just
Well, and you know, at my best, I'm able to roll with it and almost like turn it into a joke and like be charming and be funny. You know what I'm saying? But dude, if I'm just in a cranky or normal state of mind, it's like I'm like, why do I have to deal with this? This is crazy. Yeah. Well, and this is fraught with peril, I would say. Just even, you know, a notion of a male even trying to meet a woman. Now, apparently, you can just, and dude, I'm completely out of touch, but apparently, you can just more or less order them up through an app, right? It's like Tinder. You just do some swiping, and then eventually one of them knocks on your door. I mean, is that a thing or what?
yeah.
I think it probably is. Like, we didn't have that shit, and I'm kind of glad we didn't. But it's like I can't relate to that. So, you know, I'm so old fucking fashioned. I would want to like meet a woman and like get her phone number and all this bullshit. Well, that's all dead buried at this point. You know?
I tried Tinder, right? I did a couple Tinder meetups, and that shit was mad weird.
I bet.
I meet this one girl, and then the next day she sent me a text. She's like, "Hey, I forgot to tell you, I have like she had syphilis or something." She's like,
Oh, shit.
she's like, "Yeah, I had syphilis, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Well, you know." She had a minor form of syphilis.
That's
I got
not good.
checked out. I got checked out by the doctors, and they said I'm fine. But
That's
I don't
not
know.
good, JG. Hope you're all right there, sir.
I'm traumatized. I'm mortified.
Yeah, clearly.
But
I engaged in some risky behavior and just got away with it somehow. Nothing. I never had any bad outcomes from that.
I also met this Jewish chick, right? Her pictures are all nice. I meet her. She's like a dwarf, you know, dwarf sized. Hold up. Right? Her pictures are nice. I meet her and
Are you
she's like
doing
a
material,
dwarf.
JG? Are you doing material? Did this really happen? What's going on here?
Yeah, I got stories for days. So
Oh, this is great.
she opens the door. I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" Blah blah blah. And she's like, "Hey, like, yeah, come in." And I'm like, "Damn, she's a dwarf." And then she's like,
It's kind of hot. I gotta be honest, but go ahead.
nah, but she was like, I was like, "Holy shit! I didn't think you were like 4'10", like that small, you know."
Yeah, that's a dwarf.
Like, if you're under 5 foot, you're legally a midget.
Correct. Well, a dwarf, a little person. Yeah, dwarf.
Yeah, yeah.
Technically. Yeah, absolutely.
Dwarf is more PC. I like dwarf.
Dude, I've got one of my dad's brothers is literally the size of an offensive lineman in the NFL, and his wife is a dwarf. It's hilarious.
Fun size for him.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure it worked out great for them, dude. You can only imagine the possibilities, but yeah.
It's like Shaquille O'Neal and his wife. But this girl, right? She
Yeah,
says,
exactly.
she's like, "We can cuddle. All I want to do is cuddle and spoon." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Now, I got a story for you, but I don't know if I can tell it on here, but go ahead.
And just like getting close to her, like her face, like no makeup on, just crater face. She's got that Jewish nose, like just the whole time. I'm like, damn, this is a dwarf. Like just comedy in my head. I'm like, am I about to fuck a dwarf? You know? But she, nothing happened. I ended up leaving. I was like, all right, I gotta go. You know, shit got too weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tinder, I don't know, man. Fuck that
I don't
shit.
want nothing to do with it, man.
It's easier in real life. You see a girl you're attracted to, right? And you're like, you just go for it.
Yeah, man. As long as I don't have to text, I'm not texting. I'm just not doing. I'm not going to text with her. I'm just not. So every once in a while, man, and again, I'm still homeless, JG. When I was living in the streets and not in a truck, I occasionally some college girl would take a shining to me and take me on a date. And there would never be a second date because there's just certain aspects of my personality that I'm just no longer willing to hide, you know. Really, she shouldn't be taking homeless men on dates anyway. Ultimately, I don't think.
I fucked 5 girls when I was homeless in Tempe.
Nice.
Like 7 days, I banged 5 girls, and the 6th one turned me down.
Hmm.
And she had, fake tits, like crazy scars, and she was from Canada. She bent over like to tease me, and she's got no panties on, and I'm just like, what the fuck? She was fucked up, man. Like, cougar, good looking, fake tits, but just fucked up, playing mind games. Teased me with her, like bending over. She knew what she was doing.
Oh yeah, 100%. Once they get into those, I'm just not interested in those.
But she was like Amber Heard, fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Like that, she was on that spectrum, that far down.
Shout out to Mike Polento from Jersey City. I've been to Jersey City as a truck driver. That's an interesting place to try to drive a big rig, that's for sure.
He had the same experience with the dwarf.
No. I don't.
Mike, do you fetish dwarves?
Maybe.
Do you fancy dwarves, Mike?
I'm not sure that's what he's referring to, but maybe.
I'm just joking around.
I'll be honest, man. I think there's some good-looking little ladies, if we're calling them that.
Oh yeah, but when they're 4'10", it's like they're child size. It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm fucking
I don't know, like I said, my
I'm
aunt.
6'1", dude. I'm like 6'1", 6'2", 6'1",
Well, my aunt, dude, she's technically a dwarf, but she seems like an adult. She doesn't seem like a child.
You know what I'm saying, though? It's the size of a woman, of a girl,
I don't know. I mean, I like short girls, and I'm only 5'10". That may have something to do with it, but
I like short girls, but 4'10" is like, it's weird,
okay.
man.
I've never been with a girl that was 4'10", so I don't know.
I have a cousin that's like 5 foot, and she's like out of every time I see her, I think of the Wizard of Oz, the Munchkins.
Yeah,
because she's got that like Munchkin feature, that like dwarfish feature, and I'm just like, fuck, like I just want to be like, hello, how are you? Like, it's great to see you.
That's funny.
Yeah, cougars, Jerry, all day, man. You see a 48-year-old cougar with, tan legs, nice and thick. She put on some weight. She's kind of loose. She's not all tight.
Kind of loose, you say?
Loose. She's not tight. She doesn't have a tight ass. Like, she's got a bit of a loose ass. Loose.
I know.
Not too loose.
I got
not
you.
Like,
Yeah,
bulky.
there's something to these younger girls who are already taught, and then they're doing all these squats, and they're like getting fucking rock hard. There's something that's not that appealing to that about that to me. Honestly, a little bit of cottage cheese is okay.
That's what I'm saying. That tight ass shit, like real tight glutes and calves and tight ass, it's like,
Well, but if they actually play a real sport, then maybe. Like, or if she was a cheerleader, but then they've still got some cellulite. They're not like, oh, we're gonna bounce fucking quarters off their ass and they're fucking hamstring.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm with you. And I've said, I'm on record, man. If she's got a flat stomach, the rest of it can be as big as it wants to be. I don't have a problem with it. I need that flat stomach, though.
If she's got a little belly, it ain't bad, a tiny belly.
That's right. Ain't trying to deal with no gut. Nope. But I'm out of the game, so I'm like Patrice O'Neal said. He said basically, I'm just hit dirty old man status. I'm good just looking. It's like I just check them out from afar. I'm good to go. Too detailed, said Cherry Jello. There you go. Getting in too much into detail. Appreciate that feedback, by the way. We'll adjust our We'll adjust to whatever that mechanism is that makes those decisions in real time. Thank you very much.
I think did I tell you the story about the Turkish cougar out in Arizona?
No, sir.
Yeah, I met this cougar, right? I could tell she was like a little upset. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I was like, do you want to drink some beers? And she's like, nah, I don't drink. And I bought a 12-pack of beer. I was drinking IPAs, and I biked by her. I was like, you sure you don't want one? She's like, yeah, I'll have one. I was like, all right, I'm in. And I found out she's homeless. She didn't even look homeless. She's like, yeah, I just got kicked out of where I was living at. And I was like, oh shit. And we hung out. She didn't drink at all. And I ended up like banging her 3 times that night, just like on the side of this like industrial area. Just we're sleeping on the ground. I just, went to town. And dude, she had the fucking nicest body, man. Like the cougar of my dreams. And then she ends up being a meth head and relapsed on meth.
Man.
And the second night we're hanging out, right? It's like 3 a.m. I wake up and she's got 2 fucking knives and she's just staring at me. I'm looking at her like, hey, you okay? Like, just trying to be nice.
Terrible.
Not trying to show I'm scared because I'm like, holy shit, she's got 2 knives looking down at me like she's all devilish. And, she like just walked away and I never saw her ever again. I was like, fuck, man. But the greatest fuck I ever had was with that crazy Turkish method.
Mine was ex-wife number 2, and we were together for 10 years. That shit was awesome.
Was she skinny or was she a little thicker?
5'7", 112, with the perfect waist to hip ratio.
Nice.
Yeah. People used to make fun of her and say, because they would say, you look like Michael Jackson. I said, no, you look like what Michael Jackson wants to look like. That's not the same thing. Like, he's trying to sculpt his nose into your nose. Yeah, she was fucking gorgeous for Arkansas. She was an Arkansas 9.5, which translates to not that hot other places.
Was she thicker, like thicker boned, or was she skinnier, petite? Petite.
Yeah, but 5'7", 112, man. But nice proportion. But small chest, which I actually like. Like I like breasts, but I didn't mind small breasts.
I hate sandbags, like floppy tits, sandbags. I call them floppers.
Yeah, big old sack of titties, I call them.
Like
it's just all one fucking thing.
They just droop down like they're nut sacks.
Yeah, not good.
Floppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, petite. I don't like petite woman. Like,
but what I'm saying is she had hips, man. Like she had the specific. She had the small waist and the hip. She had the hips, man.
She had a nice ass, but small titties.
Yeah, but not like it wasn't like nowadays. Like it's coming all out the back. Like she had a nice figure, but it was more like what was more classical, in the old, like nice ass, but not like it's a big old fucking baby got back ass. Which I like those too. I like those also, right?
Yeah, pog, fat ass white girl.
It's more like a classic, but with a little bit more. If you go back and look at like Playboy from the 80s, some of the chicks had no ass. Like no, it was there. It was what it needed to be. Yeah.
What's the chick from Halloween? What's her name?
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, was she Jamie Lee Curtis like?
I wouldn't compare the two, but I would say similar with the hip to waist was similar.
Yeah. Well, Jamie's, I think she's like 5. She's got to be like 5'10", right? 5'11".
Yeah, my girl was about 5'7", but Jamie Lee, I was a fan of hers back in the day. I liked her a lot.
Oh, she had it. I mean, her face is kind of whatever, but she had the banging body.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice ass, tits, but her face, it's like, holy shit, she's a tomboy, like she looks like a lesbian.
Well, there was always rumors that she was some kind of like intersex or hermaphrodite. That was always the rumor, but you never knew if that was true. But my all-time favorite is a midget, by the way, Salma Hayek. That's my all-time favorite. She's still banging, and I don't like that many women in their 50s. I think she's right about 50. She's still smoking.
What movies was she in? I'm trying to
Desperado was the main.
face her name.
Desperado, From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah. Yup.
Yeah, dude. Oh well, and now wait, we got to talk about the transvestigation. If you it's copyrighted, so we can't watch it, unfortunately. But there's music videos from the '80s, like Duran Duran's Rio, and there's dude. They're trying to pass it off like a so-called supermodel. It's a fucking dude, man. Like Adam's apple and everything. And then you can look at if you look at Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun, like half of the people that are trying to play her girlfriends are obvious dudes, like totally fucking obvious. But back then we just like, oh, I guess those are just some girls, you know. Like, what the fuck?
What's that all about? What were they trying to do there?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And then apparently a lot of these figure skaters might actually be reversos. So like I used to actually like, dude, I like the Olympics. I like women's figure skating. And I'm just like, I like that what was her name? Oksana
Asian chick?
Bayul. Oh no, I liked her too though, Michelle Kwan. But yeah, Oksana Bayul was my favorite. I'm just like looking back on it, I'm like, I just hope that's a woman, you know. It's like, dang, that would be a woman.
I like the
Tanya Harding.
volleyball.
Volleyball?
Oh man, all those girls, they're caked out, man.
Dude. Of course, yeah. Obviously, yeah. Absolutely.
And they're not like tight, like what we were saying. They got that looseness to them. They're, you know.
Well, but what about softball chicks?
No, dude, no.
See, I like some softball chicks, man. I do personally. But then I mentioned boyish or lesbian, so we're kind of crossing over into that territory with the softball chicks.
Well, softball chicks, some of them, but there are a lot of butch looking ones. Like I knew a couple softball chicks growing up, and they're just kind of like tomboys, like kind of mannish, you know.
Yeah. So
softball to me is like, oh, they're I don't know. That's that.
The chat go ahead.
Yeah, softball chicks are kind of like, they're kind of dudeish, you know, just.
They're a little masculine sometimes, yeah. They can be.
Can we get back to JG Tinder dates?
Yeah, they want to hear about your Tinder dates. So I think
I only did 3 of them. Yeah, I forget the third one. I used to just pull girls. I'd be downtown. I'd skate all night downtown, and then I'd go to Latimer Street in Philadelphia. Like, hold on.
I will say this, man. We did when I was with ex-wife number 2, we did 2 winters where we heated our home in the winter with a wood burning stove. So I got to where there was times when I was splitting a lot of firewood, and I can remember like splitting all this firewood and then just going into Walmart to grab something, and the women were just like perking up, and I'm just like, is this the fucking wood smell, or am I putting off some pheromones, or like, what is this, you know?
Yeah, I've been there doing construction.
Yeah, they fucking loved it.
Well, you're in you're all cut up, you know.
Well, yeah, and I was in shape. Yeah, like I could split wood for hours too, you know, like just hours and hours. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not some like meathead, like fat meathead.
That's true too, yeah. Because sometimes guys have a perception that women are like into that, but not necessarily. A guy that's big and bulky can still get women, but it's like a guy doesn't have to be a fucking meathead to get women, like, obviously.
Yeah, my thing, I never wanted to become a meathead. My buddy Jared, he became like this. He used to be scrawny, and he turned into like this bro, like meathead bro, and he just like the clothes he wears and shit. Like, I'm like, dude, you look weird as shit, man.
Yeah, it does become a weird thing after a while.
Yeah, like
yeah,
dude used to have style. Like he you know, his clothes fit him dope, and And then he got all crazy. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Everybody's like, damn, Jared, like, you taking steroids? Like, what the fuck? Like, you looks crazy.
Yeah. I actually did a version of that myself. I hit the weights real hard and ate a bunch of food for like literally for 4 straight years, man. And I put on a lot of size, but there's something to what you're talking about. But I'm not a big guy, so even I got up to about 195 and was pretty strong for me, you know. But I still like, you know, wasn't that big of a guy. Like I still had the small shoulders, so it kind of cancels it out in some ways. But my legs were gigantic, you know, like big old fucking legs. Yep. Big back, you know. But it's like a dude that's just naturally 195 was always stronger than me anyway. So and then you know what I realized is when I got to 190, 195, all I wanted to do was get to 220. So I'm like, okay, clearly this is never going to fucking end. I'm going to be 260 in fucking 10 years, looking like I'm wanting to be able to turn my neck, you know. What's the fucking point?
Yeah, I really don't care about my size as long as I can, you know, throw my hands fast and move around, you know.
Yeah, well, here's something you may find interesting is that, so when I first transitioned into homelessness, I was coming off of all that weightlifting, so I was walking around at like 185, but you know, pretty, you know, I had a little bit of a belly, but I was pretty stout. And when I went back down, I actually went all the way down to 135, like right before I started truck driving. And dude, all my athletic ability came back, and I was like fucking 40 something.
Yep.
And I mean, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Because when I was 185, I could move around and shit, but I had lost some of my abilities. Dude, I got to 135 and I was like, damn, this is like I'm a fucking kid again. This is crazy.
Yeah,
so
you're
what you're talking about.
You get that agility back.
Exactly. Dude, I could really fucking move around. And my dad is a big, bulky guy, just naturally, like without the weights. And now that he's getting older, he's starting to trim up. And dude, he's getting fast on his feet. I've noticed, like he's moving around, even though he's fucking 67, he's got some agility. Because, you know, these guys, nobody's like 90 hardly, and they're just all fucking big old chest, you know, big old back. So if he's going to make it to 90, he's probably not going to have a lot of muscle on him. Even though it'd be good for him if he did.
It's all consistency, you know? You just got to keep at it. Just keep moving.
He doesn't do anything. He's just naturally fucking big, but he's losing it now. He's getting old. Yeah. We'll see, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, with skateboarding, I got to be a certain weight. Like I can't get all big and
yeah, you have to, yeah.
Like I can pop my tricks way better when I'm at a certain weight and I'm working out, I'm at a certain weight. Like I did construction and I put on weight, and I'm drinking too, so I'm putting on beer weight. And I couldn't really pop my tricks and manipulate my board as well as I, you know, could before. Just because I put weight on, you know, became all fat and shit. Not fat, but just kind of out of shape.
Funny that you mentioned that because I'd never been skiing or snowboarding, and dude, at the peak of my fatness, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I got up to a size 40 waist, dude. I was so out of shape. I looked like Humpty Dumpty, but I was in my 20s, and I'm, you know, I am a good just natural athlete. I'm pretty decent. So we went snowboarding, and like I could do it, you know, especially skateboarding does help a little bit, you know. But like it was crazy trying to do that and being so fucking fat, you know. Like I could do it, but it was just like, man, this is just weird.
Yeah, I know somebody that was like crackhead skinny and he put on a lot of weight. He got all fat and shit. I saw him one day riding his bike and I was like, holy shit. I was like, what the fuck happened to you, man?
Yeah.
People just get lazy. They, you know, stop skating or stop working out and they just put on weight. They're eating bullshit food. They become a pile, you know, pile out.
Yep. Oh, I got way, dude. It was bad. I had a gigantic fucking, like all underneath my neck was just, because my face blows up when I gain weight. My face was all fucking gigantic. Oh, it's terrible.
Fat boy
I got
shoes.
Pictures of it. I got pictures of it, and you'll be like, God damn, dude.
Were you rocking Fat Boy shoes?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Fat Boy shoes are like those husky, like Osiris's and DC's.
Oh no, I wasn't that fat. Because, you know, I'm a smaller guy anyway, so it was like no muscle, but I had all this fat on me. Yeah, it wasn't good. Very bad. Girls didn't care though about it. And what I didn't realize is that that was when I was with my first wife, and she intentionally fattened me up. I just didn't realize what she was doing. Yeah, for real.
What's that story and the lady fattens up the kids?
Oh yeah, it's a nurse. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mother Hubbard.
Hansel and Gretel, right?
One of them. I don't. Yeah, something with I don't know. Fuck. Something like that. What about Bananarama? Huh? Yeah, exactly. Bananarama. I will say this, Jake. I don't know if you're talking about that in a musical sense, but I like a lot of girl bands actually.
Yeah, me too, man.
Bangles, man. The fucking Bangles, dude, are badass. I think. And the Go-Go's, the Bangles and the Go-Go's. Yeah.
I fuck with Cocteau Twins, COCTAU Twins.
Yep. There
That's that good. That's good shit, man. It's like 90s. I don't know what kind of music that is, but
that would probably be it might actually be new wave. I don't know. That's a good question because I don't know when that came. I think that might be 80s, JG.
Yeah, I think it was.
Now we gotta look this up.
Look up IVO by Cocteau Twins.
Well, I just want to look at
in the future. Yeah, it's a cool song.
What they're considered. Yes, 79 to 97. So genre. I'm way off. Post punk is probably it says dream pop, ethereal wave, gothic rock, and post punk. I don't know. I don't really like that classification. I haven't heard their music enough. So what you want me to look at the song up? You're saying?
No, in the future they got some dope.
I'm not going to remember, so we'll have to do it right now. IVO.
Yeah, IVO.
Cocteau Twins.
She's got a good voice, definitely a great singer, and she sounds sick. The instruments are cool.
I love lady singing.
It's kind of got that Enya vibe, Enya, EMYA.
Oh yeah, I love Enya, absolutely. I even like early Madonna.
Yeah, I don't like when Madonna tried to rap on that Rapture song.
I don't think I ever heard that.
KRS-One sampled it. Step Into a World.
Okay. What about Nico Case? You ever heard Nico Case?
Probably.
She's a good lady singer. Yeah, this is not really my style personally, but
it gets better.
All right. Yeah, Enya is great. I agree.
Yeah, the bass line in the song's rad as shit. That little bass solo wasn't a solo, but that.
What about the Cure?
I'm not a big fan of Enya, but I mean that shit cracks me up. Like I grew up watching TV and that Pure Moods commercial will come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're playing Enya and all those songs, and you're just cracking up. Like this shit's fucking weird as hell,
It's funny.
Pure Moods.
Oh, Bananarama all had dicks. I see, Jake. Sometimes I'm out of the loop.
What are some other like female bands, like all girl bands?
I'll show you my favorite all girl band. Give me just a second. I gotta share my screen here.
I think Cocteau Twins. I don't think that was an all girl band. I just in my head I think that.
No, I got an all girl band for you.
The Bangles or somebody else?
No, somebody else. Give me a second. I'll show it to you.
All right.
I'm struggling with the slow on the computer right now. This was actually
Like-
one of my favorite albums across the board. Hang on, where is this playing? Okay.
I fuck with Stevie Nicks. She's always been dope.
Oh yeah, she can sing her ass off. But this might be hard to see on your screen here. The band is Jail. They're from Jale from Nova Scotia, Halifax, Nova Scotia. 1994 album called Dream Cake. This is literally one of my favorite albums. And I met a girl on IRC. This girl from San Diego. I was talking to her, and she turned me on to this. I fucking loved it. It's a good album. We listen to a little bit of the first song.
Not happy. Not happy. Not happy. Not happy.
Can't hear it, man.
Really? Hang on.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Can't hear it.
Not happy. Not happy. Not happy.
No audio?
No, I can hear it now. You got to put the mic on it.
Oh, okay. That's weird. Huh.
Who sang that song Naked Eye? It's like through my naked eye. It sounds similar to Jail.
I don't know. That's a good question. I got too many windows open.
I forget the name of that song, but it's like Through My Naked Eye or something. Might be a girl band.
I bet you've heard this song. This is a kind of a one-hit wonder band, but they had like two good songs.
What band?
Letters to Cleo.
I don't know.
I just thought, think about other things to get and keep getting. Never ending. I just thought, think about.
Nah, man, don't know it.
Just living on a Sunday morning, got my toast and tea and I'm warming. I just thought, think about other things to get and keep getting. Never ending.
Pete, do you know that song? Do you know that What I Am song? It's like what I am is what I am.
That's
fucking brand Nubian sampled that. They made.
Or no, wait a minute. That's that real famous chick.
Brand Nubian sampled that song. They made a song called Slow Down, and they literally that's the song they sampled. It's fucking amazing.
Edie Brickell. I was thinking of somebody else. Yeah, that's a good fucking song. Oh well, if we're really gonna do it, let's do it. Hang on. Might as well just go to the goat. We'll go to the goat here.
American Treasure. That's my band.
There you go.
Oh, this song's for heroin addicts.
I love this song, man. I've never done any heroin though.
I wanna hold the hand inside you.
That Maisie Star chick.
Yeah.
I want to take the breath that's true. I look to you and I see nothing.
This shit's a buzzkill, man.
Yeah. Kind of depends on what you're looking for, I guess. Oh, that's great.
I miss you, Jennifer. This is like suicide music. Like, I guarantee people would kill themselves.
What's wrong with me that it just, I don't know, man. Maybe I need to be able to hear this so I can feel something sometimes. It's cliche. I ain't in touch with these particular type of feelings, JG. Maybe this music helps me get there.
A lot of the shit's just nostalgic for me. Like my sister, like growing up, late 90s, right? I'm hearing all this music on the radio, on TV. My sister's playing shit. So like I'll hear these songs and it takes me back to that, that time period. I'm a sentimental.
Yeah, I hear you. See if you've heard this.
Gotta look up that Naked Eye song, Through My Naked Eye.
We'll get there. See if you've ever heard this.
I told you he was your brother. We could reminisce, then you would go about your day.
What the fuck's this?
You definitely heard of the band, but you may not be able to guess it.
Tonight on Dawson's Creek at 9 p.m.
Can't afford to believe in your side. This is not a black and white world. To be live, I say the colors must swirl, and I believe that maybe today we will.
You're saying I'm sensitive?
Say what?
You're saying I'm sensitive?
I mean, in a specific context, though, like I'm clearly sensitive. Look at the music I like, for God's sake.
Everybody is, man. Who's singing this?
That's Live, their first album, though.
Oh, I don't know.
I love it. Well, you know that fucking lightning crashes and all that. Live. They had a big hit album after this. Yeah, Throwing Copper was their famous album.
Shit, I always hear songs and I'm like, damn, that would be a good sample. Like, I don't even make music, but if I could make samples, I'd be sampling old 90s shit.
It's the same band that did this song. And if you tell me you haven't heard this, I don't know where we're going to go from here. This was all over everywhere for like a year.
I can't hear it. Oh, yeah.
It's the same band.
Live?
Yeah. But their first album. Yeah, that song, dude, it's a good song, but it's so fucked out, dude. I can't listen to it. It's like I like U2, Rattle and Hum, but there's like 3 songs that I've heard so many fucking times I can't listen to them anymore. It's like, nope. In the name,
you gotta look up Candlebox, Far Behind. It's like Candlebox. They're kind of a one-hit wonder grunge band, but they got that Far Behind song. It's fucking amazing.
It's a good song, but I draw the line at Candlebox, sir. No offense.
Shit, that's the only song I know by them.
Yeah, they had several good. Look, they had several fucking hit songs, but I draw the line at Candlebox.
Yeah, when I was hopping trains, I got into grunge. I was listening to grunge a lot, listening to Alice in Chains, and I had that Candlebox song playing.
That's my favorite band, by the way, Alice in Chains.
Who's your favorite rapper? Was it KRS-One?
Sean Price.
Oh yeah, Sean Price, Sean P.
Rest in peace. Yeah, Sean P. Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, Alice in Chains, man. Nutshell, great song.
My favorite's Junkhead. Since I'm not on drugs, you know. What's my drug of choice? Well, what have you got?
That's just good skate music. Like, you put that shit on when you're skating bowls or skating FDR in Philly. Just fucking amps you up.
I will go with a hot. Go ahead, sorry.
What, sir? Good music like that, you can zone out. You can zone everything out and pay attention to your board and the music. You know, you can just get into that Alice in Chains zone. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's some good shit. We White Zombie, man, was good for that back in the day. Since I'm older.
White Zombie. I'm trying to think.
Yep. Well, they had that one. Rob Zombie, but his earlier work with White Zombie.
Yeah. What's that one hit song?
Well, but before all that, they had some good fucking skate music, I thought. And hell, half the music we found it literally through skate videos. We're like, oh shit, it's bad.
Yeah, 411s. They always had all types of shit in there. What's that famous Rob Zombie song? Might be White Zombie.
Oh, like that. I can't even remember what it's called, but I don't know. I can hear it in my head, but. Here's one of my all-time favorites, if you're ready for this.
Soon I discovered that this rock thing was true. Jimmy Lewis was the devil. Jesus was an architect. Maybe was a prophet. All of a sudden, I found myself in love with the world. So there was only one thing that I could do, was ding-a-ding-dang, my dang-along, ling-long.
Can't hear it. Can't hear it.
No audio?
You can barely hear it.
Oh, I don't know, dude. There's no telling. Let me try something here. Hang on. I'm gonna mute for a second and fuck with my mixer. Can you hear it now? Music?
Yeah. Yep. What band?
That's Ministry.
I don't know shit about them.
It's, Jesus Built My Hot Rod by Ministry. was a pretty big video back in the day. Shout out Andrew. Yes, Mazzy Star. Matt, they did not agree with you about Mazzy Star.
It's that heroin music. You fuck with Depeche Mode?
Oh, I love Depeche Mode. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, they're the best. Policy of Truth. That song's fucking amazing.
Oh, that's and it, dude, for the time, amazing, especially because again, with my age, I was around when that shit came out, dude. Fucking unfucking believable. We had the cassette. Me and my friend, dude, we wore that shit out. Yeah, incredible.
Were you guys playing that shit while you're skating, or just like?
No, man.
Tape player shit.
Yeah, my best friend growing up was, dude. I mean, remember, I'm from Arkansas. Like, we weren't really plugged into the cool music, but
yeah,
for whatever
you
reason,
had MTV.
We did. That's true, and that helped. But that did help. That's true. But it's still fucking Arkansas. But yeah, my best friend, for whatever reason, had a very good musical taste. So I was exposed to some things I otherwise probably would not have been. What do you think of the Black Crowes, JG?
Black Crowes.
Yeah, that one album came out when I was in high school, and I thought it was pretty good personally. That Sign, is that them? Or no, that's Tesla. I'm thinking of Tesla. Black Crowes, they're all right. Yeah, okay. Pink Floyd, yeah, I agree, Mr. McGee. I do agree. Pink Floyd is on another level.
No shit.
Yeah. Well, he said it's cliche as fuck these days. He put that he gave the disclaimer. So.
Nah, man. I know a buddy that's like he thinks he's like he knows everything. He's like, oh, Pink Floyd's overrated. I'm like, dude, bullshit. Animals. That fucking album's amazing.
They're not overrated. That's ridiculous.
Nah, he's just on his high horse, like holy as shit. Like it's like you can't hate on Pink Floyd, man.
Yeah, 100%. I was a big Queensryche guy back in the day. Really like Queensryche.
You know about the Gun Club?
No. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of that song they have. My buddy made a video, and I actually skated some footage to the Gun Club. Talking Hands or some shit. Something Hands.
I never heard of this. Talk Talks. What is that?
Oh, Talk. Fuck, what's that song?
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. There's so much music out there. I've never even heard of this. And this is from the 90s. I mean, I'm still finding new music from the 90s, like literally.
Yeah, me too. That's all I do. I'm just always like trying to find like old 90s rap songs and alternative shit.
Well, I think I get shit on because it's emo, but I like Sunny Day Real Estate. I always heard about them back in the 90s, but I guess I was too angry and aggressive to actually listen to them back then. I love that shit now. It's fucking badass as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I'll have to check out this Talk. This looks like my kind of music here. Let's save it to my. I'm gonna have to save it to my. Here, we'll subscribe. How about that?
You ever get into samples, like hip hop samples and rap samples?
Well, I mean, I like them, but I don't really know. So I don't know all of. I used to look them up, like the album would tell, the liner notes would tell like what it was, and so I'd kind of keep an eye out sometimes. But,
yeah, I got deep into that shit. Yeah.
Song. It's a good song, huh? Yeah, James.
Hell yeah.
I actually thought this was a different song, but yeah.
This is good fight music. Like the beginning scene of the movie, and you're just knocking somebody out. That right there reminds me of Raising Arizona.
That's a good movie. Yeah, I like that movie.
That song they're always playing in there when he's making that screaming noise.
Well, somebody brought up Foo Fighters, man, and that first Foo Fighters album, it's not necessarily a great album, but that shit was badass. That came out when I was in college. It was pretty awesome for the time, I have to say.
Who is this?
James.
That's just it, James. That's the name.
Yeah, the name James. Yeah, that's it.
Oh shit.
They had some good shit, man. They got a lot of good songs.
Do you know about this band called Nirvana? It's a pretty good band.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
First CD I ever bought was a Nirvana CD. And then I got a Hendrix CD. So Hendrix and Nirvana, that shit's ingrained in my head.
Well, Nevermind, I've heard it a bazillion times. It's a good album, but I actually really like In Utero also.
By Nirvana?
Yeah, I think that's a really good album.
Well, I got their greatest hits album. I'm not too familiar with all their other albums.
That was their follow-up had Rape Me on it.
Yeah.
They're kind of a victim of their own success, I think. Like, that album wasn't necessarily that well received at the time, but that's a pretty good fucking album as far as I'm concerned. It's from 1991. Former guitarist and keyboardist of Joy Division, and lead singer and guitarist of New Order, and Johnny Marr, the former guitarist of the Smiths.
Word.
So for the time, it was good.
You know about the Stone Roses?
I've heard of that. I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah, it's that Ian Gallagher.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That
from Oasis.
What other band? Yeah, he was in Oasis. Before Oasis, it was he was in Stone Roses. They got two.
Wow, they're kids, man. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Fool's Gold and I Want to Be Adored. Great songs.
It's a little dated. I mean,
yeah, Bittersweet Symphony. That's whatever.
I like it. I think it's good.
That's just like that mainstream alternative shit.
What do you think of The Cure?
Oh, fuck yeah, The Cure.
Yep.
Dude, growing up skating, my buddy Mark would constantly play The Cure, and he had like this kind of makeshift skate park in his backyard. We'd be skating there for hours just listening to The Cure, man. Great music.
Like, one thing about them, man, like, dude, they're way ahead of their time. Like, that Boys Don't Cry, that's 1979.
Yeah.
Crazy, man, for
Yeah.
that long ago.
You know, Echo and the Bunnymen, they got good shit. All the new wave shit, all those bands have amazing
Oh, yeah.
songs.
Yeah, there's a lot
Like
of good
new wave killed it.
I agree, man. Yeah, it was definitely. There was a lot of good stuff.
It's like Psychedelic Furs, The Cure, New Order, Depeche Mode, all that shit.
Hmm.
Tears for Fears.
Oh yeah, it's
Pet
just
Shop
got fucked
Boys.
out. I just heard it too many times. You talk about MTV, dude. They wore that shit out for like 2 years. I'm not even kidding. And people may not remember this, but dude, when MTV first started, like there was hardly any commercial breaks. It was just fucking wall to wall videos. It was crazy.
Yeah.
No shows, hardly, no nothing. Just videos. What's up, Robin? Shout out. I heard your comments about me on EBT stream last night. I do appreciate it. We got a hard out at 5 though, so 30 more minutes and I'm piecing out of here. Got to get ready for tomorrow. Well, for tonight, I got to go pick up a load. The Chameleons.
Damn, I don't miss hangovers, man. Fuck that.
Miss what?
I don't miss hangovers.
Oh God, it's so. Actually, I didn't get hangovers usually, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Just fuck. Just drinking in general. But I was one of those people, for whatever reason, I didn't get very many hangovers.
I know about the Chameleons. I don't know many songs, but I've heard a couple of their songs.
Oh, we're still listening to this same song. This song's lasting forever.
Yeah, Duran Duran, they got some good shit.
Oh yeah, I love Duran Duran.
Girls on Film.
Well, this is one of my favorite songs, just across the board right here. Period. Is it playing?
Can't hear it.
It's good.
Oh, yeah. Rio?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, for just a straight up pop song, this is pretty fucking good, I think.
I wish I could go back in time, man. That like whole era, like that skating combined with music, like that, just that evolution, that time period.
Oh yeah, man. It was a blessing to be around back then.
70s seemed cool, but the 80s, like, fuck, man, 80s to 95.
Well, you know what the 70s were great for was movies.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The chat's blowing up with all kind of suggestions. I can't really even keep up.
That's what happens.
See, this is one of the advantages of Discord. You could actually, people can have one of those bots and people can play music and even queue up music. You know what I mean? Like the people, the live chat would actually be able to like be the DJ.
Yeah.
And and I think this might help explain like the me versus tinfoil stuff. Like before him and his wife started dating, like we were all three on that Discord together, Chalk Body Outline Discord, and we would all three spend like hours. And this other guy, Legend, we'd be in there listening through the lot. We listened to like all kind of hip hop. Like we all knew good hip hop. So it was kind of like some bonding around that. So I mean, I understand why he got his feelings hurt, shit. But
You think his wife's breaking him down?
no, I don't think so.
What happened to the guy? He's drinking or some shit.
I don't have any idea, man. Me and him don't get along, but he seems like he's all right. But he does kind of spiral. He definitely spirals. Spirals a lot.
He's a tool bag, man.
Is that a band, Mike? U.S. Bombs?
I think the band is Jax.
Oh, okay.
The Jax, that was like a skate gang back in the day. Like that movie, not Gleaming the Q, but Thrashing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I think in the movie they're called the Jacks, but that was like a gang / band or some shit. Dude, the history of skating out in like Venice, like 70s, 80s, that shit's fucking amazing. I met those dudes too out there. I met Jesse Martinez. I talked to him for a bit, and
nice.
Like I saw some of the original Dogtown dudes and a couple other guys. But that was a trip, just skating around. And you're like, oh shit, there goes so and so. Like, damn, that dude's. This is his neighborhood. Like, this is his turf.
Yeah, for sure. Something to that.
I didn't pull an analytic, I didn't like fan out, but
Yeah. You didn't go soul read analytics on him, that's right.
Yeah. But that's cool, that was cool as shit. But I mean, just that whole experience of skating out there for 5 weeks, skating's too fake, man. It's a business. Everybody's a businessman with some fucking crazy ego.
Yep. Yep. People ruin everything. Give them long enough.
But this trips me out, right? I don't know if this is true, but this one cat, Tone, I met down there, he was like, yeah, I talked to Jesse Martinez and somebody else, like Dogtown skaters. And he was like, yeah, dude, they're talking about you. He's like real hyped on your skating and shit. He was like, the one night you were skating and they're watching. I don't know if this is a true story. He told me this, but he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, they're real psyched on you, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if that's real or not.
Probably were, man.
I sobered up. I went out there, right? I sobered up and I was just strictly skating. Every fucking day I was just, I was just getting it in, skating on my shit, and skated that Venice Park for 5 weeks straight a couple of years ago. That was cool. I mean, people might be like, that's fucking weird you did that, because I literally went out there by myself. I'm sleeping outside. Like, I had a place to live in Philly. I quit my job painting. I just got that bug to skate, and I just went out there and was like, fuck it, just sleeping on the beach every night, skating every day. But the skate world, it's different now, man. It's too loony. Like you were saying, lunatic earlier, man. The whole skate world is just, it's insane, man. Social media, egos, it's just crazy. Yeah, these guys are skaters, I think. Jax, I think
Sounds
this
like
is
it.
a skate
Sounds
rock
like
band.
skaters.
I fuck with Agent Orange. I got into Agent Orange. They got some good shit. And then Steve Caballero, he's got his band, The Faction.
Steve Caballero, that was my first real board.
Oh no shit. What was the shape like?
Hang on, let me turn this down a little bit. I'll show you which one I'm talking about.
Was it like
It was
a fishtail?
Yeah, of course. This was the 80s, man. But yeah, it was like dope as fuck for the time.
Yeah, the Dragon board.
Yeah. Where is it? Dude, I'm just. Is it on the screen?
Yeah. I guess
Okay.
that was that his first pro model?
I don't know, man. Like again, it was Arkansas, so it's like maybe he had some shit out in Cali and it didn't make it that over there. I don't have any idea.
I'm surprised it doesn't say the. I'm surprised it doesn't say the name of the board. It just says Red Stain, Pal Peralta Pro, Steve Caballero Street Skateboard Deck. Like it's not saying
87.
the model.
Yeah, 87. I got it the year it came out too. I'm sure. That was when skateboard blew the fuck up. Everybody had a skateboard that year.
Yeah.
Like all across the country. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had Thrashing. You had all these skate movies too. Like skateboarding was all over MTV.
Yeah, I learned to ollie on that board, which if you look at that shape, man, that was not exactly easy when I was 12 to ollie that fucking board, dude.
Yeah, that nose is fucked.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, we weren't using the nose. I mean, to be fair, other than like some kick turns, you know.
No, I'm just saying, like how see the shape of it. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, it's completely fucking just terrible. Just bad in every way. Yeah, awful shape. Yeah, comically bad. My buddy had like a Santa Cruz board. It was like I can't remember the guy's name, but I know if I saw it, I would. It's like Rob fucking skateboard Santa Cruz.
Yo, when you were in Santa Cruz,
What?
Roscop, yeah. When you were in Santa Cruz, did you skate Derby Park?
I didn't have a board when I was. Well, maybe I did have. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I had a board when I was out there or not.
Yeah, I got to skate Derby Park. That's like one of the that's like a historic skate park. I think they made that back in the 80s, late 70s. I don't know. There was a park out there. It was like a downhill, slope, snake run. They made that in the 70s. That was like one of the first skate parks, but they fucked that up.
Santa Cruz is a dope town, man. For real. I love Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it is, man. It beats it. North California shits on Southern California.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love NorCal. San Francisco is my favorite city, man. I love SF.
Fuck SF. Can't stand that place.
I love it. I like cities though. You're from Philly though, so I don't know. Yeah, Santa Cruz, Half
I
Moon
just
Bay,
hate
I
those
know
hills, man.
or whatever. But what?
I just hate those hills. Walking up those hills, skating down it. Those hills are crazy.
Yeah. Well, fuck, I wasn't skating there. Are you out of your mind? I would have killed myself.
No, but just walking up those hills, it's like I feel like I'm back in my neighborhood. Like my neighborhood, there's Manayunk. Near my neighborhood, there's a part of Philly called Manayunk, and it's just like walls, man, like steep ass SF style hills. Just sucks to be walking up that shit.
Yeah, I call it Legoland. There's certain areas where it's just like everything's either flat or it's a fucking 45. It looks like Lego to me. Like it's just goddamn Legoland, man.
A lot of these big cities don't have that like flavor anymore. Like Philly's kind of done.
Yeah.
SF doesn't have that feel anymore. Santa Cruz still has something, but what's it called?
Died off.
What's that city in Texas, southern Texas?
Austin?
Nah, it's on the border of Mexico.
Oh, Brownsville.
No,
You got
no.
Laredo, which is way down there at the bottom. Laredo. And, talking about El Paso.
El Paso, yeah. El
Yeah, I
Paso
go
is
through
sick.
I go through there truck driving a lot.
Yeah, that downtown area, it's still old school, man. All those old buildings, all the old architecture still has a lot of, good skate spots, like old school skate spots and shit.
Nice, Everyman Dan. That's awesome. All right. House of Love. Got about 15 minutes and I got to go, unfortunately, or I'll end up staying here all night.
House of Love.
Yeah. Check some of this out. How do I save this? Oh, there we go. Subscribe.
My buddy, one of my good friends, Keith, he's your age, and he grew up like skating in the '80s. Like he knows all about that shit.
Yeah, there wasn't like I was saying, man, everybody got aboard in '87, and then there was a few of us who just kept skating for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why.
My buddy
man.
Keith, he's
Looking
actually
back
like
on it, what's that?
Not my fault.
No, go ahead. I was wondering what you were gonna say.
There's a delay when we're talking, so it's like
Yeah.
constant.
I'm super bad at knowing when my turn is too, so that's part of it.
I'm just enthusiastic.
Yeah, that same problem.
Yeah, my buddy, he's actually like an original Philly head. Like he grew up skating all over Philly and downtown in Love Park and shit, and our neighborhood. He was skating with like the top, not the top dog sounds corny, but he was skating with like the real, like he was involved in the real Philly skate scene, There's a guy named Roger Brown. He's a black dude. He's like the OG of Philly, like before. He's like the Schoolie D of Philly skateboarding, you know what I mean? But my
Not
buddies
really.
told me stories. Schoolie D is like he's like the original rapper out of Philly,
Yeah.
original gangster rapper in rap. And this guy Roger Brown, my buddy was, we always heard about this dude. He was kind of like a myth, like kind of elusive and shit. But Roger's like he's like the OG of Philly skating. Kind of like how Jesse Martinez was with like Venice, and get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's fascinating, like the history of all that. It's like, is that going to get lost to time? You know what I mean?
But that era of skating in Philly seemed really rad. It was just strictly skating and getting photos in magazines. It was more focused on skating and just enjoying skating, like just pure skateboard shit. Where nowadays it's like it's more politics and too contrived, a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
All for
Shout out to
social
Croco,
media.
by the way.
You're just trying to get attention. You're not really skating the skate, You're not.
Yeah.
You're not
Well,
soul
and-
surfing. You're
Well, it seems
doing it
like
for.
there's-
You get caught up in the wrong reasons or the whack reasons.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of really good skaters too, as far as like technical ability.
Yeah, but they don't skate like growing up skating. It was like you skated the whole city. You skated 12, 10 hours a day, all
Oh, yeah,
over.
dude.
Nowadays, it's like they just show up to the park trying to film shit for Instagram. Where I went the other way. I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna go to Santa Cruz and just strictly skate like on my own terms. I'm gonna go to Cali, sleep on the beach, and just skate to Venice Park every day. I didn't film shit out there. It's better like that,
Yep.
Just get back to the roots of skateboarding instead of like getting caught up and trying to film video parts and trying to make it in skating. Like, fuck that, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, I hate to go, but I got to bounce. I got to fucking get ready to get up and go work. Time to be responsible.
Yep.
All right, man. Shout out
All
to
right.
the chat. Shout out to Croco. Shout out to KG. Shout out to Mike Polento.
Peace.
Thanks for watching. Bye.